Welcome to the Behind Them Sticks podcast, brought to you by TSWS Gaming.
Come and talk to me, Leonard Ray. That's Come your on. Name. Come and talk to me. I just wanna have a conversation. No, I'm not your type of baby. Listen, I'm just saying we can rule the world, just me and you, if you could play it. Won't you take a chance with me and have that conversation? I just wanna have that conversation with you. Come and talk to me. I just wanna have that conversation with you. Look, see we vibing and you know it's true. Baby, what it do? Do for me and I'ma do for you. No doubt about it, Boosie. I'm a Midwest king, looking for myself a queen. Ready to chase a dream with a dope self-esteem. You find it in all I know, and that's for real. You get to shaking that ass on the floor, and I see what's real. No disrespect, I just tell it like it is. Do you ever want some kids? What your ultimate goals? Maybe I can help with those. The mo was broke when he made you a blessing. You looking like a whole buffet, and I need some seconds. You say you had promiscuous ways, that was back in the day. I'll be alive, I say I did it. That shit was a phase. So baby, take this journey with me. You can pick the time and place, this nigga isn't picky. Smile on your face, I know the deal. Sign and deliver after seal. I can see it in her eyes, this one right here for real. I just wanna have a conversation. No, I'm not your type of baby, listen, I'm just saying. We can rule the world, just me and you, if you could play it. Won't you take the chance with me and have that conversation? I just wanna have that conversation with you. Come and talk, yeah. I just wanna have that conversation with you. Lady, you so far ahead of these others, just like a ship on the horizon. Picking up on your vibe, signal stronger than Verizon. All the thoughts that I've been contemplating, ain't no time for faking or debating. You the one, ain't no mistaking. Look, I see you swag different. Always carry yourself like you ready, you know the mission. I had to know you, I'm tempted. I can see why you timid. Hold up now, baby, listen. Just take that dance with me. I can show you that there's a difference. I'm locked in. I throw away my playaways because you pop in. A shooter always shoot a shot. With you by my side, I guarantee we'll reach the top. I put that on God and then I'll give you all that I got. So baby, take this journey with me. You can pick the time and place, this nigga isn't picky. Smile on your face, I know the deal. Sign and deliver after seal. I can see it in her eyes, this one right here for real. I just wanna have a conversation. No, I'm not your type of baby, listen, I'm just saying. We can rule the world, just me and you, if you could play it. Won't you take the chance with me and have that conversation? I just wanna have that conversation with you. Come and talk, yeah. I just wanna have that conversation with you. Come and talk to me.
What up, everybody? Welcome to another fantastic episode of Behind Them Sticks with your boy Ham Solo 05 Gaming here with you on the TSWS Gaming YouTube channel. And I have another phenomenal guest here with me this evening. Not that long ago, he had me on his podcast for the first time. And then soon after that, he re-invited me back, saying wild stuff like co-host and stuff like that. And I was just like, I like the energy. I feel that. I like hearing positive things. And I really like this gentleman right here because he's very supportive to all different types of people throughout throughout like podcasts and, you know, on Twitter and stuff like that. He's very, very positive person, not always bringing in the negativity. He might, you know, dabble a little bit sometimes, but his main objective isn't to ruin your day, and I like that. Shout out to the people in the chat. I see you, but before I go to reading off some names, Dusty, how you doing, brother?
Yeah.
Good to have you here.
What's going on, bro? Man, it feels really good to be on your show this time because I really like your show. I like what you do. I really
No
do.
work for you
And
this
actually,
time.
So well, maybe, but we'll see. But what I meant when the second time I had you on my podcast and I said that it was like you were like a really good co-host. What I meant by that is I appreciate your energy and how we can bounce off of each other and how we were bouncing off of each other during the shows. So it was like it felt like that's what was happening, you know what I mean? Even though we have our own shows. And so it's just respect to you. Like, yo, like when I first saw you podcast, I was like, I want this guy on my show. Then he came on my show and I just thought the vibes and energy was really good. So that's kind of what I meant by that. Like, that's why I want to podcast more in the future, even after this, just because like you've got good vibes. Gerald Max got good vibes. Matt Likes Games is coming this Wednesday to the show. So if you want to join him, go for it. I love his vibe too. Yeah, I think he's dope. So I'm always he is a bum.
Matt's a freaking that dude's a piece of work. I tell you that much. I have to kick him awake to get on my podcast. What? No, I'm just kidding. It's actually the other way around. Bro's like, where are you at? And I'm just like rolling over. God. Like, God damn, on this podcast on like so usually I stay up pretty late gaming. I gotta take my daughter to school in the morning, of course. And whatever. I tell you, his podcast, like usually I take my daughter to school, come back home, take a little nap, get up, get some stuff done around, the house and whatever, just take care of life pretty much, right? But his podcast, I'm not so used to doing. I'm used to doing evening podcasts. His podcast is at 10 a.m. and I don't wake up until like 10:30, like mentally.
Oh yeah,
mentally, I'm just not awake until like 10:30. So it's just it's just kind of rough. I mean, I'm not in my mode back when I was doing concrete or I did a landscaping back in the day. Like the last job I had before I got my back hurt, we didn't open until 10. And I didn't open. I didn't do the opening. I did the closing shifts from like 2 to 10. So like that's what my like life is still running on. My life is still running 2 to 10. And it always has been. I need to adjust that shit because it ain't working. But anyways, shout out to Hard Days Mike with the $2 super chat saying ham is a salty sandwich meat. Sadly. Thank you. I appreciate that. Keep on spending that money and making fun of me. I don't mind.
What kind of meat sandwich? You know what I mean?
I think he's going with the ham.
Okay. But like no ham and turkey with a little provolone? I don't know. I'm just saying. Oh no. I'm hungry, so don't do me right now.
The disrespect.
I'm hungry.
I'm enjoying the disrespect. Thank you, Mike. That's a good brother of mine. I like Mike. Mike's a good dude. But anyways, go ahead.
I just wanted to say real quick, I actually like Hard Days Mike name. So just a little fun fact. My first name is actually John, and my parents, who are musicians, named me after John Lennon because they're Beatles fans. So when I saw Hard Days Mike name for the first time in the chat, I was like a hard day's night because I've been working like a dog. Like, so when I saw his name, I said that has to be a Beatles reference. His name has to be a Beatles reference. So shout out to Hard Days Mike. I love that name. Beatles are like, I love the Beatles to death. Yesterday is one of my all-time favorite songs. So yeah.
That's interesting. I wonder if that is in reference to that. He'll have to speak back in the chat.
It'd be funny if he said it wasn't.
You're right. That'd be interesting. That'd be mad interesting. But brother, this episode is all about you. This is Behind Them Sticks, as everybody knows that showed up. So we gotta hear now, and I know you're like more or less up and coming. I've had some people that have been on here that have thousands of subscribers and all that stuff. But you're working towards that right now, like myself, right? You're very much in the same boat as somebody like me. So I want you to go on ahead, let everybody know where they can find you. I want you to do that at the start of the show and at the end of the show. Got to pay that respect.
Awesome. Thank you. So you guys can find me on all relevant platforms, which would be Xbox, Twitter X, YouTube, Threads, or Instagram at the Dusty Uno. It's the same. I'm trying to keep it the same on all. And then if you connect with me on any of those platforms, and let's say you game on Battle.net, Steam, or other platforms such as that, I can shoot you my username there as well. I try to game everywhere I can. So yeah, at the Dusty Uno, as the way it sounds. Or if you want to be particular, Dusty is all caps. So
All right, all right, all right, all right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Like I said, I'm gonna have you do that one other time after the show as well, because I want you to make sure to. I want you to definitely make sure you get your name out there the best that you can, at least while you're on my podcast, right? So just to show you that
Thank
respect,
you,
but
brother.
to keep it pushing, let's go on ahead and talk about some of that history in the background that's going on with you. So I see you got the Xbox there. You got the Jurassic Park mug you sipping. You got that Nike bag right there. You got some Iron Man. You man of culture right there. I see you got a little bit of man of culture going on. But what I just recently found out fucked my whole head up. This man's younger than me. Yo, I ain't gonna throw your age
Older.
out there because I ain't trying. Or excuse me, older. Goddamn, let me put some respect on his goddamn name.
I look, I look younger, but
Yeah. I mean, this man is older than I am, and I would have never thought that shit. I thought this dude just got his, privilege to walk into a bar or something like that. Like I was
Oh,
like,
shit.
hold on a second. This man's been balling longer than me. Talk about it, brother. What's going on with you? Like, let me start out by asking, like, where you come from. What's your background like?
So, my background is I come from a very, very white father and a very beautiful black mom. That is my background. I am
Interesting.
the I am the most mixed breed you might meet in a very long time. Hashtag team light skin. But
Let's go.
my my mom is out of LaPorte, Indiana. My dad was born and raised in California, but they met as young musicians. And then they got together, had my sister, who is older by 4 years. She's also a dancer, just like myself. And then they had me, and taking after my parents being musicians, I became one myself, just in a different way. Um, I was born and raised in Southern California. Um, I hate our prices here, but this is home. I am a long time professional dancer since self-taught at first, but since the age of 5. And yeah, that's just in a nutshell kind of what describes me. I love what I usually tell people is I'm a professional dancer with a love for gaming when it comes to being involved in like this sector. So that's just a little bit about that. Yeah.
Well, let's do a quick merge then, real quick.
Mhm.
When did gaming kind of come in? Because I'm assuming dancing was first,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah, it was.
along came gaming to like relax in the midst of like,
Mhm.
okay, we ain't practicing anymore. I can go off and do whatever I want. I'm gonna choose the game.
So the funny thing about that is gaming for me was like a forever thing. Growing you grow up, and if your parents get you these toys, you play with them. So I discovered I could dance at the age of 5. But I was already tinkering with video games around the same time because I'm a little kid. I mean, back in the day, I was telling you earlier, I had, Sega with the Sega CD. We had the original NES and Super NES, like, and then went along from there. I had the Sega Game Gear back in the day. That was my first. I said earlier that was my first Steam Deck, or my first ROG Ally, with the 20,000 batteries you needed for that stupid thing. And so gaming was always there, but I believe within the last, I want to say, a year before COVID happened, I would say, is when I started to, like, because I was already creating content in the gaming space, but that was when I started to be like, I think I want to podcast more. I'll still try to create videos, but that's when I kind of discovered, like, about maybe 4 years ago or so, that I wanted gaming to be my other profession that I could work towards, outside of my everyday job and, teaching dance and all of that stuff. So, but they've always kind of been hand in hand, you know what I mean? Just being a gamer as a kid and then being a dancer as a kid. It was, and even being a skateboarder as a kid, it was one and the same.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. So I'm kind of interested now in the specifics on these games. right? I mean, you talked about some of the hardware, the Game Gear, the Nintendo, the Sega CD, you know, and obviously that came with the Genesis. So, I mean, what were some of the games that kept you locked in when you were young?
Well, because I was playing a lot with my sister, my older sister. Shout out to my sister Jen. I love you. She and I would always play a lot of like Super Mario, Mario 2, 3. We would play freaking oh god, I had it all in my head. Oh, we would go back and forth on Sonic. There was a time where we would, you know, we would always play Donkey Kong. Actually, oh, I'm glad I remember this. The very old school Dick Tracy game, the Nintendo game. Dick Tracy.
This man said Dick Tracy.
Me and my sister loved that game. That one,
Blast
Teenage
from the
Mutant Ninja
past.
Turtles, Tiger Heli was my shit on Nintendo. Tiger Heli was my shit. Even Web Dave knew it. And usually when I bring up Tiger Heli, most people are like, the hell is Tiger Heli? So yeah, there was a lot of games that we played, but then a lot of games that we didn't play just because we liked what we liked. And then when we weren't playing, we were, you know, my sister and I were coming up with choreography because our parents were doing local performances as musicians because they had a band at the time. So
Okay.
yeah, we played what we liked. We had what we had. I think I even remember the original Power Rangers game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, playing that one a lot with my sister. Oh, me and my dad would go to the arcade down in San Diego, and we would go back and forth playing Cactus Jack. And then my sister and my mom and me would play the Simpsons game. And then me and my dad and my sister would play the X-Men game. Like all arcade, you know? And that probably had to be some of the best gaming memories growing up. Was, yeah, we played at home, but once we got to the arcade, it was just like we ran in there. You know, my mom would lay out by the pool a little bit because the arcade was at a hotel we would stay at, and we would go there like twice a year. I freaking love this hotel. Sorry, didn't mean to say that.
It's all good.
And they just had used to have a really, really, really great arcade station there. And man, Cactus Jack will forever be my most favorite pinball game ever. Hands down. You can show me Star Wars, Star Trek, you can show me Jumanji, I don't care. Cactus Jack is a classic for me, you know. That hits home. So
dang, all right. So you brought out some of them names right there. Very classic. Absolutely love it. So at the time that you were kind of, you know, doing your dancing and whatnot, at what age would you say your mind was blown? Like you just seen like a product of gaming and said, like, hold up. This right here is changing everything.
That is a good question. Halo.
OG?
OG Halo.
Oh, so you're talking about early 2000s. Okay.
And then before that, it's hard to remember just because I was such a kid, you know, and I had so many different things going on, right? So I'm trying to think. And then after that, I would say, and this is for me, this isn't like for the industry or anything.
Yeah, none of this show is the industry. This is all you, bro.
The first time I saw an Uncharted game, and
wow, you went from
because
Halo
I was
to Uncharted, so you dancing in multiple courts right now. You don't give a damn. I love it. Let's go.
I don't give a flying. Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't believe in. When it comes to gaming, I don't believe in brand loyalty. I believe in self-worth. And I feel my worth when I'm gaming somewhere and it feels great. It feels rewarding. It feels like a community. It feels like home. It feels normal. It feels like how it did when I grew up. That's what I search for, you know. And Xbox makes me feel at home. GeForce Now makes me feel at home. My PC makes me feel at home. My Xbox Series S makes me feel at home. My M1 MacBook Air that I also game on makes me feel at home. My ROG Ally makes me feel at home. So, PlayStation doesn't. And that's why I don't own one. And that's why I won't until they figure it out. Because as great as some of their games are and whatnot, I refuse to put money down for, like, let's be perfectly honest. Today's state of play made me want to ask. Yeah, it is. Yeah, today's state of play made me I wanted to ask Twitter, the community, if you will, one question.
Okay.
Is this what you paid $500 for? Is this what you scalped a PS5 for? Is this what, or not scalped, but bought a scalped PS5? Like, my thing is, buy what you love, play where you want, right? However, know your dollar's worth at the same time, because this money doesn't last forever. Yeah, you can make it back, but it can also be taken away like that. So when I am not going to drop. You can't even get me to do an installment plan on a PS5 just to have one. What you need to do is fire Jim Ryan. What you need to, and I know. I said that to you on my show. And you were like, "Hey, there's other people there. He is not in charge of everything."
I don't remember saying that. I don't remember
maybe
saying
it wasn't you then. Somebody said that to me. I thought it was you. But somebody said that to me.
I remember saying that.
No, you good. Somebody had said that to me recently when I made that comment during a podcast, and I said, I get it. Jim Ryan can only control what he can. You have other people in charge of different divisions. So I said this: fire all of them, and then I'll buy a PS5, because I don't see anything right now. No, real talk. And this is just speaking for me, right? As gamers, we're selfish, right? When it comes to what we love and what we want and what we spend our dollar on.
Absolutely.
So if I have a friend who loves their PS5, even if they haven't touched it in a while because they're waiting for Spider-Man 2, and that's not a dig, I'm just giving a scenario here, but they enjoy their PlayStation, I'm all for that. Cool. But I also have a friend who complains about their PlayStation because they don't use it. But he's trying to hold out for something, and it's not even Spider-Man. So I'm like, what are you doing? Sell your PlayStation and go get an Ally. Because all he's talking about is wanting to play Starfield. And I'm like, dude, we have a Best Buy down the street that has it on display. Like, come on. If I'm not saying don't play PlayStation, but if you can't say, like, it just seems kind of horrible that somebody would limit themselves to just one platform. But then again, at the same time, they're frustrated that they can't even use it to their ability. And then they can't even use it daily. And that's obviously not everybody, right?
Right.
A lot of people have PlayStation and they use it all the time. They love their first party or they love their third party.
No, but you're speaking for you right now, so I feel what you're saying. You're just speaking for you.
Exactly. So for me, fire those people that I feel like are running the damn brand into the freaking ground, and I will consider buying a PlayStation 5. Bring in somebody who is like a blue-sided Phil Spencer and revolutionize what it means to game on PlayStation, and then I will invest. But until that day, all I see is price hikes after price hikes after price hikes.
That is tragic.
Everything PlayStation is a price hike. What I mean by that is, you want their headphones, price hike. You want their portable, price hike. You want their subscription service, price hike. You want their monitors, hella price hike. You can buy 2 monitors with the same quality on sale, brand new, if you just went to the right place, Micro Center, instead of buying their dumbass PlayStation Sony monitors. For the reason they have to charge this much is because they bullshitted for so long. They cannot sustain without having to hike up these prices. That's how they fund themselves, right? Oh, no, wait. Sorry, that was Call of Duty that funded them. I'm a little messy right now.
Yeah. I'm just letting you cook.
but that's just me, and that's just how I feel. I am not completely writing off Sony. I'm not completely writing off Spider-Man 2. If that game comes out and it's phenomenal, I'm waiting for PC. And then I'll get the game.
Damn.
But yeah,
I thought I was gonna hear something else right there.
Hell no, you ain't gonna see me buying them stupid wingtips. Look, the PlayStation Spider-Man Special Edition, you know, side paddles. Ben Kenobi on Twitter could have done a better job. You know what I mean?
I seen somebody make one of those Venom ones, and I was like, man, that's hot. That's really nice.
I think it was King David or somebody else during Iron Lords. Somebody said it and I thought it was perfect. The black side with Venom's logo, why wasn't that so much bigger? And then when it bleeds over to the other side, then you have it bleeding over the red Spider-Man logo. And I was like, that would have been so much more perfect. And then somebody said, oh, well, it is doing that. I'm like, no, it don't. No, it don't. It looked like it was red plates and some of the black is coming off.
Damn. All right. Well, I tell you, like, here's a little bit of an argument I'm gonna have with you, because I'm gonna play a little bit of devil's advocate, and just kind of, I'm just curious as to where you stand. I'm curious as to where many people in the chat stand, because Mr. Joanna Dark just a moment ago said the reason we are seeing this right now with Sony is because they blew their load in the PS4 era, and now they have games years away, similar to what happened to Xbox. Fair. That's a fair point right there. But my devil's advocate thing
very fair
is, look at the PS3 or look at the PS4. Like, those had those had very slow rollouts to big name games. This generation with PS5, they already got Horizon out. They're working on having their second Spider-Man out. They redid Demon Souls, purchased the people that made Returnal, so it looks like their game. It looks like it was their game. God of War Ragnarok came out. GT7 came out. You could argue that this generation for PlayStation was the best introduction into their console. But here's where things get fuzzy for me, personally.
Fuzzy Belvedere.
Other than Returnal, which, like I said, they didn't own them before the game came out. They purchased them right after the game came out. My grievance is, where are the new IPs at? Like, all of them are like a 2.0 of something else, or remaster, kind of. Shout out to Remake Station. But yeah, that's my thing to kind of argue to you, is like, if you kind of are objective, you'll see that maybe they had a better kickoff than previous generations. But the thing that maybe Mr. Joanna Dark said that's possibly reigning true is, well, that was an awesome start, but where are we going? Because we see Spider-Man, we see Final Fantasy, but that's, I mean, according to the fanboys and stuff like that, that's third party. You can't count that. So, like, as for just first party studio for Sony, it's like, other than Spider-Man, we know Wolverine's coming out, but that's a question mark. Like, what else do they got kind of cooking back there?
I really need people to stop saying Wolverine. That shit ain't coming till 2025 or tail end of 2024 if they somehow make it out. I wouldn't even be surprised if it was delayed till 2026.
Damn.
Stop claiming Wolverine. That ain't even here yet. All we got was a little teaser. Okay? Like, we had more information about Starfield than we do Wolverine when they first talked about Starfield. I'm kind of joking, but that's, I think you understand my point. So I don't want to sit here and say PlayStation ain't got shit, but PlayStation ain't got shit. No, I'm kidding. But I'm being messy.
Yeah.
But before I forget, one thing I did want to say. Where did he say it? It was Mr. Joanna Dark said the Peaches game and Paper Mario made me want to Switch. I'll be very honest with you right now. Mario Wonder makes me want to switch. Sorry, PlayStation.
Why are you apologizing to PlayStation?
Because they're not good enough for me to want a PlayStation right now.
Oh man,
But-
man, this slander is getting deep. Cutting
No,
deep.
no, let me stop. Let me stop.
No, you good. You just doing you. I don't hate it.
Yeah. But what do they have? Okay. Everybody hated the 12-month announcement that Xbox gave, right? And then when they didn't deliver at the exact end of that 12 months, some people were kind of getting in their feelings about it, you know? And then games started to kind of come, and now here we are at Starfield. Cool. So the thing is that these companies are going to have unfortunate downtimes. You know what I mean? For one way to explain that. And it's just going to happen. It's inevitable. You can't keep up the same type of momentum forever. At some point, something's going to trip you up. But it's how you recover to get that momentum back, even if that momentum is in a new way right now. And with Xbox, it was a horrible announcement to make, but at least they said some shit. And they said it to our faces, for lack of a better way of describing that too. But they said it to our faces. PlayStation has to kind of tell us on the side that things are getting delayed. Or just not say shit at all. And I think that is the wrong direction, because everybody's in their feelings now like, what the hell is happening? But then they do a state of play about indie and third party, which for me is completely fine. But you're not talking about what's coming that's first party, and that's what you're known for.
It felt like their last showcase, kind of. You know, like I mean, like you told us, like a few things, like very few things that we didn't know that was coming. But as the Gino was saying in the chat just a moment ago, he said, Sony's cooking up those live service games. They will churn them out the next few years. See, like when I pulled up and seen that showcase, I feel like I was the same as many others, where it was just like, that's not what we came here to see. We know live services around here and free to play games. I mean, that's cool and all, but if you brought me here to this showcase to look at some free to play stuff, I mean, that's not what we're expecting from Sony. And because usually they want to show you what they can get you to spend that quick dollar on, but what they're trying to do is get you to give them the last few pennies that they leave you with on some of these live service games. I'm not sure if I'm feeling that at all that much. But shout out to Mr. Joy in the Dark. Let me get through this super chat real quick before I let you answer. He said, question for Dusty. Actually, excuse me. Dusty, Mr. Joy in the Dark, I got a question for you. He said, question for Dusty. He said, aliens about to destroy Earth, and you go and you only pick 3 games that will show them not to mess with Earth. What 3 games you picking? Oh, I love that question. God damn.
I ain't picking Forspoken. That's for damn sure.
Oh, come on.
Dude, if we want humanity to think that we have the technology but not exactly the brains, let's just show them some of our lesser achievements, right? Let's see. I would show them Grand Theft Auto Online and 5.
Damn.
If you want a representation of our society, play some Grand Theft Auto. Let's see. To not mess with Earth. Grand Theft Auto, because I feel like anybody from any world, once they start playing that game, it's going to be hard to putting it down. I would say Starfield, but then they would feel like they weren't included, so that might cause problems. They would probably request a DLC, and because we can't turn it out in time, they would just blow us up. You feel me? Super Mario, because I feel like anybody from any world in this universe has to play a Mario game getting into gaming. That's just a personal thing for me. And
all right, what's number 3?
When this game comes out, probably Stellar Cheeks. Oh, sorry, Stellar Blade.
Oh shit.
No, I'm kidding.
Hey,
A
man,
third
that might
game would
scare them from our women.
No, they'll probably be like
I know, right?
integrating with our women. No, and
He's
and
like,
then
"Rest
I
of y'all
would show
fools can
them.
go. Keep the women."
Oh, and then I would show them the first Avengers movie because that's what's gonna happen if you try anything.
Oh,
if you
my
come
goodness.
sideways.
You said 3 games, and you gonna throw a movie in there?
Hell
Goodness
yeah! Hell yeah!
gracious.
No, because I can't think of a third game. I'm trying to think of one, but I almost even said the Goonies. Like they need to watch the Goonies. I know it's not a game, but they need to
You
watch it.
tripping.
No, if I had to pick a third game, hold on, I got it. Hold on. Halo.
Okay.
Because we gonna Master Chief that ass if they come incorrect. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do this real quick because this is a pretty interesting question. I like it. So, first game would probably like if I'm showing them this, because these aren't my favorite games. He's telling me to show games to make them not mess with Earth. So Doom.
Oh damn!
I'm choosing Doom right off the jump.
True. Yeah.
I'm let's see. I'm also showing them Max Payne 3 because that man's a menace, and I think that was tough. And then let's see, if I don't want them to mess with Earth, I mean, there's a lot of things.
This is a good question.
You know, man, this is wild. All right, so I'll just go ahead.
I used to,
I'll pull out the, dang, because I like I want to go with Gears, but I'm not, because they're still regular guys. So I'm gonna go with a different GOW. And that is,
Lord.
I'm sorry, bro, but I gotta send a God after they ass. Man, get your ass out there and get the job done, Kratos.
They are just gonna think we are hostile as fuck.
I don't
or as
care.
hell, sorry.
You better get out there and go kill him.
I'm glad you mentioned Doom, because when you were asking me about some of the games I grew up playing, I did play the original Doom games on my very old school father's computer. So yeah, forgot about that one. I'm old.
Yeah, but see, Mr. Joanna Dark says Max Payne's a regular guy, but he's insane.
I'm sorry, Max Payne is the god of bullet time. Come on.
Yeah, man. I mean, if he got bullet time, he ain't regular no more. In my opinion, this man jumping over desks, shooting everything. I love it. All right. Fine. Then I'll take Max Payne out if you're gonna say he's a regular guy, and I'll throw in Chief. I'll just throw Chief in there then. Because
Chief, like saying Batman's not a superhero.
Because Chief running around, he getting the job done. Chief gets the job done. What's his name? Kratos get the job done. Doom guy get the job done. There you go.
I thought you were gonna pick at least one game that was like semi-friendly, where they feel like they could get a hug from it. But no,
there's no hugs. You said don't mess with Earth. This isn't no hug fest. This is time to kill. We gotta go.
Wait, you ain't trying to dab it up with them?
No, this is no dabbing. He said not to mess with us. That means they cannot hang out. We are not dogs. We are not dapping. We ain't doing shit. It's time to die.
One movie they should watch is Friday, and that's it.
He said Solid Snake would body Mac. Man, Solid Snake can barely even body the boss. Man, get out of here with like, no. God damn it. He got thrown off a bridge by that. Man, stop it.
That reminds me. So they showed Spider-Man for like the third freaking time, right? And
that's a fact.
I would have if you're going to show that again, where was Metal Gear? If this is a third party indie showcase, why wasn't there time set for some more Metal Gear stuff?
I don't know. I don't know about the Metal Gear thing. I mean it. I'd love to see um more about Metal Gear. I'd like to see more about the upcoming Metal Gear that is the remastered stuff, just to see like do they change the buttons, do they do this, do they do that to the game and whatnot, because man, I don't like them buttons in the last ones at all. Fark you comes through saying question but the question is, Ham, is it the Kratos that can jump or the old grumpy sad dad? I'm telling you, it's the Kratos that can get freaky diggy and tell them bitches to leave. That is that Kratos. The early days Kratos. The disrespectful Kratos. That's the one I'm talking. I like the newer God of Wars. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, if I'm trying to tell some aliens to get the hell up out of my stratosphere, then I'm gonna need that classic, disrespectful, bad bitch getting Kratos. I need that dude out here. I don't need, the dad that's, trying to see his son do good and go to college. Like, I ain't trying to see that. I'm trying to see the most disrespectful dude. Like I said, I ain't gonna put the daddy Kratos next to Doom guy, because he's gonna be like, "What you give me, bro? Like, we can't rock with this dude. He's too soft right now." But like that classic Kratos, that man a dog. He got that dog in him. But all right,
I don't want that.
But let's keep it pushing a little bit. So the reason we got like put onto this whole tangent is because you brought up Uncharted, right?
Oh yeah.
So I want to go back to I want to go back to why, because now you made me rethink my questions a little bit. Why is it Sony was so big for you then, in particular? Because obviously you bring up Uncharted and then expel everything that you just said in the last like 10 minutes. Like it clearly shows some hurt that happened within you and PlayStation in the past. I mean, y'all sound like y'all got a divorce and they won custody. Like what? Like
who hurt you? Who hurt you? You know what? You know who hurt me? Sean Layden when he left, and then Jim Ryan came in trying to act like he was my new boo, and I said, I don't know you.
Oh man.
I don't know you.
So what was it about specifically Uncharted that just kind of opened your eyes to? I mean, so actually, before we even get to Uncharted, was there history before with PlayStation, before PS3?
Battle Arena Toshinden. PlayStation 1. Played that before I ever played a Tekken game. And loved Battle Arena Toshinden. Loved that game. And that's part of the reason why I love the Tekken series, is because they are very, very similar styled fighting games. And that was my shit back in the day. I would, every time I come home, ready to play it, wherever I was coming from, wake up, ready to play it, and then to go off of what you were saying, why it's changed is because a lot, you can say, okay, all these companies care about themselves and want to make money at the beginning and end of the day. We all know this. So since we all know this and that's default information, it doesn't need to be said. But if a company goes out of its way to try to make me feel like I'm actually, like my dollar actually means something, that's why I invest. And I haven't felt that way from PlayStation since I had the PlayStation 3. I didn't even have the 4. And to be honest, when I played the 3, it was only to play Call of Duty. I was living in Beijing, China at the time, and my boy was over in North Hollywood, and he was like, yo, go get a PlayStation, let's play. I didn't even buy it for exclusives. I just bought it for Call of Duty. So once I came back home...
Lost from Call of Duty. No, I'm just kidding.
Once I came...
Go ahead.
And I have not been playing that either. Starfield is a life ruiner, and it's a great thing. But once I wasn't traveling overseas as much and I was more home with my wife and family and whatnot and my kids, I started to pay attention more because it was like when it came time to wanting to get a new gaming system, it was like, well, do I get PlayStation or do I get Xbox? And I've always loved just tech and software and hardware in general, that to me it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't about brand loyalty, but just what felt comfortable to be with. And I went with, you know, Xbox, and I got myself a One S, and I don't ever regret that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I got the One S, I got to test Project xCloud as a beta tester. You know what I mean? Because I got the One S, I was able to give that to my daughter when, you know, I got other devices to use, and now she plays Xbox. I don't know if those same kind of things would have happened if I stuck with PlayStation necessarily. But why was it at one point I love them and then now I feel like I can't even talk to them? Because Jim Ryan cheated on me and all of us.
I cheated on me.
So, you know, he don't bring the flowers no more.
Oh, you said Jim cheated on me. Oh shit. All right, this is a real ass relationship going on here. Shout out to Mr. Joanna Dark with the $5 super chat coming through. Brother says, what game would you pick that defines your love for gaming? My game is the Metal Gear Solid series. Second, or actually, go ahead and pick the first. Answer the first one first, and then I'll read the rest of the super chat.
Okay, I don't want to. I don't. Mike Johnson in the chat might have a disagreement with this, but he can kiss it. I am going to say I am going to answer that question with Starfield.
Oh shit!
Starfield reminds me why I love video games. I'm not a single player story gamer because I cannot focus, and Starfield has me hooked to the point where I have to force myself to put it down. And that's how I used to game when I was a kid. That's how I loved gaming growing up. It was an escape from everything else. Like, I don't care about telling people this. I grew up bullied all the way from kindergarten to junior year of high school. And then when I went to senior year of high school, I said, enough of this. I made the decision that I wasn't going to allow that to happen anymore. So I allowed myself to go somewhere else for my senior year of high school, finish my grades, do well in my class, so I could graduate and move on from that BS.
Damn.
So because I grew up that way, gaming was my escape. Gaming reminded me why I enjoyed being alive and why I could face any darkness that was in front of me, because gaming reminded me of that. Dance also obviously helped with that, but we're talking gaming, right? And Starfield reminds me of that. Because I'm not going to lie to you, nowadays, yeah, shit ain't easy right now. I'm not going to go into detail, but it just isn't easy right now. And you know what has been making me feel re-inspired and re-motivated and hopeful for the next day is a quality ass game that can allow me to drift away and just enjoy myself. And that right now is Starfield. That's the only way I can answer that question. This game there's just something beautiful and magical about it. And like I said, I don't want to sound like an Xbot or like I'm trying to kiss some ass to whoever the hell is listening, you know, trying to get that Xbox paycheck, you know what I'm saying? But I am, because if you're an Xbox podcaster, you're paid. I don't know, but it's just, I haven't felt this way in a very long time. Cyberpunk was supposed to be that game, and although it was fine for me playing it on the cloud when it first came out, because that was pretty much the best platform you could at launch, to be honest, because of all the issues going on, I didn't get that escape. I was more worried about trying to run the game than actually playing the game. I've had about maybe 4 or 5 crashes so far in Starfield, which if in about almost 30 hours of play is not a lot. And I am not turned off once. Loading screens don't turn me off. I feel like I can finally escape. I've been searching for that one game that I can binge on. And this is it. And, yeah. That was a very long answer. I apologize.
No,
but
no, no. That was perfectly
yeah.
fine. Farq in the chat says, Dusty, you bleed green. It's okay.
Hey, 2 Chainz. True.
But I'm gonna go on ahead and answer that question as well, because that's a pretty dope question. I like it.
Mm.
But I'm gonna answer it differently. So I'm gonna go in like segments in like life, pretty much. If you asked me when I was a little kid, Road Rash was life.
Ooh, thank you for reminding me. Road Rash
was life. Going
I
into
love that game.
a little bit later into my gaming, Dragon Ball Z Legends or Dragon Ball Legends, which was an import copy from Japan, was life. The very next generation after that, Grand Theft Auto 3. The generation after that, it was literally the entire console. Or actually, no, it was the same generation as Grand Theft Auto 3. But later in that generation, it was literally the whole ass console of the original Xbox. There was it wasn't just a game, it was the entire experience. Down the road, 360 era,
agreed.
Borderlands. And
okay.
Borderlands, oh man, it's a tough three-way fight between Borderlands, Call of Duty, and Halo 3. That's a battle right there. But I'd have to say, I'd probably say I put the most time into Borderlands at that time. I did, just because I liked the co-op and the sandbox levels and whatnot. I just loved it. Xbox One generation, or pretty much, the last generation. This is the craziest answer of all of them. Ark Survival Evolved. That game ruined my life for quite some time.
Game ruined my life for, I would say, over the course of maybe 6 to 7 years, because I would constantly go back to it, and I know that's going to happen with Starfield. Star Trek Online. STO was my shit. Like,
that's wild. I would have never even thought of that one. And then
I'm a Trekkie. Oh, I'm a Trekkie. Yeah.
Yeah. Love to hear that. We're gonna have to talk a little bit later about that. But if I was gonna go into recent, I'd definitely stay Starfield. I agree 100% with you on that, because I'm getting the same like kind of whoa feeling. Yo, Mr. Joanna Dark, know about that Dragon Ball Legends. Yes, it was fire. You know it was. Yes, it was. But anyways, but yeah, I'm getting the same feelings from Starfield that I got with Ark Survival Evolved. And whenever I played Ark, a lot of people said, yo, that just reminds me of Skyrim. So that makes sense, right?
I could see that comparison. Because I never really played Skyrim, but I watched enough gameplay where I could see that comparison.
It's just a lot of just figure it out. You can do some crafting. You can get like your own, like you settle up pretty much. It was insane. The combat was nowhere near the same from either of the two games, but just kind of like the openness, the do whatever the hell you want aspect of it. Very similar. But if I'm going to pick, if Mr. Joanna Dark's going to say, yo, pick one goddamn game, don't give me all this life story bullshit, I would say Ark Survival Evolved. If I'm going with
Star Trek Online,
all of that throughout my life, I'm going with Ark Survival Evolved. And I know people are like, yo, that is sacrilegious, or that is disgusting, or how did you put that much? Man, I'm telling you, that game is a demon. Once you get started and you understand it and you are like, oh, this doesn't bother me, I kind of like this is nice, man, that hole you get into is it's ugly. It's very much like a WoW hole, like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy, what is it, 14 or something like that, or whatever, the one with the MMO.
Oh, 14 Online, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, bro,
right?
it gets really deep. And then as well for Ark, to me, it was a community thing because I was playing with, it was me, a few, like 3 or 4 friends from back in my hometown. My wife was playing and her dad was playing, and we were all in the same tribe, yo. So it was just
That's
like,
tight.
it was like a family situation, right? So like, I
That's
can't
tight.
take those. I'm sorry, Starfield, but you ain't getting in front of family. And then on top of it, they announced the new Ark, which, speaking of
Oh,
family,
you gonna play it?
I mean they got the new Ark Survival Ascended that's supposed to be coming out at some point before the end of the year. I don't know that
And that's before
the
Ark
owners,
2, right?
yeah, and that's before Ark 2, and then they got Ark 2 that's coming. Speaking of family, they got Vin Diesel that's going to be in the game, and you know when it comes to him, it's all about family, baby. So I am so
I got Riddick.
I mean, I am so goddamn excited for that, but I don't even know what to expect because they've been real skittish about gameplay or really any details about that type of shit. But anyways, I digress.
True.
The second half of Mr. Joanna Dark's question was, what's your favorite game soundtrack? I'm gonna go first
That
while
one's
you're
easy.
looking up. Midnight Club Dub Edition.
I have 2 at the moment. One is current, one is old. And the old one I'll say first. And the only reason why I would say this soundtrack is because it's actually based off of one song. Kingdom Hearts. Boa's main theme song was everywhere at the time. And as a young dancer and gamer, you bet your ass off I, had to create something to that. And yeah. Now, do I think it's the best of all time? No, it's always stuck with me over the years.
It's just your favorite. It doesn't have to be
Halo's
the GOAT.
soundtrack. Yeah, Halo's soundtrack obviously will always be classic, or just any of their soundtracks for me. I just love that world. That's why the TV show didn't really bother me, just because I like being in the world, as long as creatively, the cheeks are done right. And then for my current game right now, besides Starfield, because obviously that soundtrack is just default amazing. I really love, mainly because I am a hip hop dancer or street styled dancer, is the Need for Speed Unbound soundtrack. That shit is fire as fuck.
Yeah, the Unbound soundtrack is nice. Kidding?
Yeah, ASAP Rocky curated that whole soundtrack, and it's fire. I love that. I love that soundtrack.
Gotta be shit.
But that's more so because a lot of the tracks on it, I want to, because I'm teaching classes again Mondays regularly, so I want to use some of those tracks for my classes. So that's kind of why. So sometimes when I put the game on, I'll just put it on and sit in the start menu just to hear the soundtrack play.
All right, so now before. And that, or actually, let's go on ahead and finish this part of the subject. So, I want to know now, in particular, to this this current generation, what is it that inspires you the most out of gaming, and what are you thinking that you're looking forward to seeing? Like some of the stuff that they've been showing with like ray tracing in games, and some of the new features each of these consoles can do. Like, what's maybe your most exciting thing of all of it, and maybe what are some of the games that provide it?
Part of my answer would be seeing where Forza Motorsport can push ray tracing and current technology. Because somebody said it best the other day, and if you know, please remind me. I will always mention who said something, but then I always forget who actually said it, so I apologize for that. The generation truly hasn't started until Turn 10 shows up. I think Boom might have said that. So, and I agree with that. But because of what they're trying to achieve and pull off with Forza Motorsport, part of my answer is that game alone is the answer. What is that going to show everyone else in the industry of what's capable and possible? Same thing with Fable. I can't wait to see what that entire game looks like and how it can push things along. But right now, as far as advancements, what's inspiring me, it's kind of more so the race between all the different companies and with whether it's the handheld space or the AI space between, like, say, AMD, Nvidia, Intel, and so on. That's
it's
kind
a
of
hell
like
of a race, isn't it?
oh my, it's like the new space race right now. It's crazy to watch. And I mean, not as huge, obviously, but it's kind of like that, because all of a sudden it just started happening. And now you're just watching, like they've always been competing with each other business wise, but now you're really starting to see this boom of, we got to improve this to this to this, and we got to get to this, and we can't let them get to this. And they're always trying to one up each other in different ways. And just when you think they can't, all of a sudden AMD announces that they're coming out with FSR 3 soon. You know what I mean? And Nvidia's trying to convince people that they're killing it with the 4000 series cards and DLSS 3. And they just announced DLSS 3.5. You know what I mean? So it's like they're constantly going back and forth, trying to one up each other. And that's the competition I love to see. Like, I wish we could see that from PlayStation and Xbox. Well, we're seeing it from Xbox, but we're not seeing that from PlayStation. And I wish we could have more of that. You know what I mean? It's like if you have a twin brother, your favorite color is purple, his favorite color is yellow, but you both go watch the Lakers. You know what I mean? So it's like, all this console warring shit is kind of stupid to me. Let's compete, but let's make it fun, because of that competition. You know what I'm saying? So
here's kind of a question I feel like that's been asked a ton of times, but it feels more and more relevant as time kind of swings.
Time after time.
So I want to ask you, and I want to ask everybody that's in the chat that's watching, please feel the need to write something in the chat at this moment. But I'm asking you and everybody else, how much longer do you think until consoles are just not enough anymore, or not needed, flat out? Like, I'm not saying they're gonna completely stop making them. I'm just saying as to where it feels like, what's the point? Kind of like a CD, like think about it. You go to Best Buy, you go to the music section, like the stereo section. How many people are buying CD players?
Exactly.
They go for they go with the stereo that got Bluetooth, and they just say, that's good enough.
To answer that question, I would say you can already make that argument right now. But when does it become a
norm,
common thing in society?
Right,
yeah,
because
exactly.
Apple had MP3s. Apple had MP3s and stuff like that for years.
Before the industry changed, yes.
Exactly, before everybody actually was like, you know what? I'm just going to use my phone. I'm going to put this Walkman over here. I'm going to put this...
Exactly.
I'm gonna put this what god damn, I forgot what those things were called. iPod. I'm gonna put this iPod or Zune or anything. I'm just gonna leave this over here because I got this device and I don't need it for anything else. I mean, hell, we just heard about Apple just the other day saying, yo, ray tracing on my phone.
Insane, isn't it? Let me repeat this for the chat. And for anybody watching the replay, Assassin's Creed Mirage is going to be native on iOS with ray tracing support on your freaking iPhone. Say what you want about mobile gaming, but right now, mad people have a Switch. What is the difference of attaching a Kishi to your phone and you're on 5G ultra wide, if you're fortunate, and playing there. Or using 4G LTE and using Wi-Fi, which I did and have done. Using whatever means, but what is the difference? There is no difference. Mav even said it earlier today that he had better performance playing xCloud on his phone than he did on the Steam Deck. Well, yeah, because the Steam Deck is Linux. Not a lot is really, I mean, it's getting a hell of a lot better. I'm not bad mouthing Linux at all because I have a cloud gaming PC from Maximum Settings PC over in Canada that, you know, runs a 2080 Super, and it's perfectly fine. And its architecture uses Linux, Mint. So there's nothing wrong with Linux, but there's a lot of things that are not made for that platform, and that's why you have to do a bunch of workarounds. And even then, it doesn't always work out for everybody, right?
Sure.
So somebody really tried saying somewhere online that who wants to play Assassin's Creed Mirage on their phone? I don't know. Maybe the entire freaking market that is the most dominating market out of gaming. I really need people to take their heads out of their asses.
Right.
Mobile gaming is the #1 gaming market. My black side is coming out. I'm sorry. I'm starting to clap with every word. My mama would be proud of me. No, but like, it is the biggest market. Call of Duty Mobile destroys Call of Duty easily. We found that out because of the FTC. We found out a lot of stuff because of the FTC. Like how Lena Khan was not ready for this. That is a totally different conversation. But so to see somebody say something so shallow-minded like that, take your head out of your ass, please. Assassin's Creed Mirage with RTX support running on an iPhone 15 with their type of metal architecture, now that they've been integrating their game porting toolkit, which I have on my M1 MacBook Air, so I've been running Diablo 4 on there for testing purposes. Like when all that news came out, I modded up my M1 Air because I wanted to try this. Because I feel like Apple is finally starting to take gaming seriously. And people really want to sit there and be like, who the hell wants to play on their phone? Who really wants to cloud game? A lot of fucking people. Sorry, I need to not
No, you're fine.
say the F-bomb.
No,
but,
man, you're just spitting. Go ahead.
But it's, you know what I mean? Like, it's such a stupid mindset, in my opinion. And I don't even think it's funny anymore as a joke. Because there are a lot of great content creators out there that game on Macs, game on mobile, game on cloud, and they have a lot more followers and traffic than all of us combined. Because they don't care. They're just gaming. So why are we going to sit here and act like, oh, if you play on mobile, you're not a gamer? Who's really going to want to do that? The entire freaking market that's already doing it. Duh. Who's really going to want a cloud game?
The thing is it's easy to get into that mindset of like, why would somebody want to do on all this? But the thing is like, you're replying to that text on the same thing that people are using to play these video games. Why aren't you just using your computer instead of using your phone? Why
Exactly.
why are you on Twitter on your phone? Why don't you just use your PC? It can do it. I mean, it's because it's as simple as this. It's because this goes everywhere with me. This does everything that I need it to do. It's the same.
Player's
like,
choice.
Like I was watching John Wolf and Kay Asante have their and C Money was there as well. They were on a show earlier this week on Kay Asante's channel, and they were talking about, you know, who like in the household, like, oh, like we don't like the kids don't like this controller versus that controller, and or they're more likely to play this because the controller size and whatnot. And I was thinking to myself, like, when I look at my kid, the only controller that blew her mind that I handed her was the Duke controller from Xbox. She was just like, yo, that thing is massive. Right? Like, but other than that, like her eyes got big, and she's like, "Whoa, that thing is huge!" Like, so I just thought that was funny because that's like the whole thing around that controller is it's too damn big. But any other like I give her an Xbox One, Series S or X, 360 controller, no problem. But the reason she chooses a Switch more than anything is because she cannot drag my Xbox somewhere. She cannot drag my PlayStation 5 somewhere, my Dreamcast, my N64, my 3DO, my Sega Genesis. She can't drag any of that stuff around. But what she can
and if
drag
she
around,
did, she'd have to re-plug it in, or you'd have to help her carry it, depending on where it's
exactly.
going.
And she know Daddy doesn't want to do that all the time. She knows that. And so what does she drag around? That Switch. Because not only can she play games on it, but she can watch some of her favorite shows on it with Hulu and stuff like that.
Exactly. Like, I'm glad you brought that up because not to cut you off, sorry,
no, you're good.
but my youngest stepdaughter, she games on, mainly because of me, by the way, and I love this, but she games on her iPad Pro that her grandma bought her. She games on her Switch Lite because she didn't really want the console version, and she games on the 1S that I gave her. And I am trying to get the black 1 terabyte so I can actually give her the white Series S because she really likes the white one. But I really want her to have that sooner rather than later. And because of all my other devices, I was kind of considering just giving her the Series S now, and then I can wait for the console. You know, I mean, because like I was gonna say earlier that, you know, cloud gaming, like, why wouldn't I want a cloud game? I mean, shit, I'm playing Starfield at 4K over 60 frames per second, ultra settings in the cloud on GeForce Now. So, like, who wouldn't want to do that, especially when you have internet that can support it, right? So, for me, like, I even told one of my friends yesterday, I might take my M1 MacBook Air, re-hook it back up to my 4K TV that's in the living room where I have my Series S hooked up to, give my daughter the Series S, and then when I want to game, exactly, because there's an Ethernet connection that goes into my MacBook, so that goes into the TV. If I want a cloud game from the TV, I'll plug in the Ethernet into the back of the TV because I'm not going to use Wi-Fi for cloud gaming on certain devices because I know better. Sorry, I'm the cloud gaming guru. Anyway, so that was just an idea that I've had. You know, I've tested this for like the last 4 years. I love cloud gaming, and I think like when people don't believe it's going anywhere, shout out to Hargeet, I turn them off because I've tested this for way too long to hear that noise. Hargeet is one of the smartest people in this industry. There's one thing I cannot hear him talk about, and that's cloud gaming. Because I've tested this way too many times with so many other people across the internet that I can't listen to that because it's so untrue. Who's going to want a cloud game? A lot of people already are. Like, GeForce Now has over 1 million subscribers. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. That's a lot of people. Cloud gaming. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? So
yeah, Cozy Cozy damn near cloud games exclusively. Like, I think all of her Starfield game plays cloud gaming. Yeah, she has like 4 days.
And don't get me wrong, it is no disrespect towards Hargeet. It's, you know, we can agree to disagree, right? If he doesn't see a future with it, that's fine, and I'll respect his opinion. But I can't listen to it when he starts talking about it, just because I know so much about it too. I have a lot of experience over the last 4 years testing this on so many different devices, because at first it wasn't about testing it. It was because I didn't have a choice. Where I was in the last house me and my wife were living in, the Wi-Fi was horrible. It was far away from where my setup was. I had no Ethernet connection, and I didn't even have my Xbox yet or my PC. I had my iPad. So I've had to do this under all scenarios and situations that were horrible. Now, yes, granted, being in California, I'm close to a lot of data centers, you know, so that is a luxury. Cool, we'll do whatever. But I've been in many scenarios where I wasn't close to a data center because I'm trying Boosteroid, where their data center, like the nearest one is 2 states over or something, or like overseas, you know. So I know what it feels like to try a service from another region that I don't even stay in. And I'm trying to make it work. I'm trying to find a way to make it work. And the people are like, well, why are you going to spend time doing that? Because I love testing technology. I love advancement. I have a gaming PC. I have a console. But you really think I'm just going to sit here and not try cloud gaming? That's like when people wanted to overlook Netflix when it first came out. Oh, this ain't going to be nothing. We're still going to go to Best Buy or Blockbuster. None of you have foresight, which is fine. Cool. But at the same time, open your eyes a little bit. Don't write something off just because you think it won't work. Actually get into the communities that are cloud gaming. Actually sign up for all of these services and don't just try it over Wi-Fi for 5 seconds and then be like, oh, this is shit. If your Wi-Fi didn't work, ask yourself one question. How far are you away from it? Is it 5 gigahertz? Are you running on 2.4? And do you have a way to hook up to Ethernet? Well, if I have a way to hook up to Ethernet, I should just play local then. That's not the point. Like,
And
my
depending on
gaming
the
PC,
area, you could get better service not even using your Wi-Fi.
exactly. My gaming PC is a 3060. I subscribe to GeForce Now Ultimate, which gives me the power of the RTX 4080. You really think I'm gonna stand here and struggle my ass off trying to get Starfield to run as best as it can on my 3060? And I know it's crashing every now and then because of that. And at the same time, I'm trying to live stream from the same PC using OBS, which, if you don't know, I'm taxing a lot. Even though I have 32 gigabytes of RAM and that's a lot of headroom, that is still taxing. So to see that now I don't have to play local, I can play on GeForce Now at much higher settings, much more beautiful resolution, and then live stream and not have to worry about crashing. And even if I do, it won't whack out my OBS while I'm live streaming. Hell yeah, I think I'm gonna freaking try that and do that because it would be beyond me not to. Or it would be wild. So like I said, no disrespect to Hargeet. I love that man. I want him on my show. And like I said, we can agree to disagree when it comes to cloud gaming, but that is the only subject. He could talk about anything else in the world and I'll listen. Like, I'll be all ears in. But cloud gaming, that's why I call myself the cloud gaming guru. I just know this that well and I know it works. And I know a lot more people use it than people realize. So sorry to go on that tangent, but
No, I
you
love
know,
it.
like
I
I
love
said,
it because you're standing your ground and saying what you believe in.
yeah,
And it ain't nothing wrong
it's
with that,
all
man.
love.
Respect.
Like, it's all love. Like, I remember Boom was gonna have an episode a few weeks ago, and he wanted to talk about the whole Ubisoft Plus thing and like cloud and all of that, and he was gonna have Hargeet on the show, and I was like, I need you to have me on the show. If you're going to talk cloud gaming, I need you to have me on the show. Because I need to give a different perspective to what everybody else is going to say. Because I already knew what everybody else was going to say because they've been saying the same thing for the past year. At some point, kind of got to stop. xCloud works when it works. And if that's not potential enough, I don't know what is. GeForce Now works. And I'm just going to leave it at that. It works. And if that's not potential enough to potentially create a future, then what is? Why are we so short-sighted and against these type of revolutionary creative ideas and things?
All right,
Somebody
fair.
has an idea, back it up, let's support it.
What I want you to do though, real quick, is just like we started at the beginning of the conversation. I want you to tell me, when do you think this kind of stuff like cloud or just PC gaming or any of that will phase consoles, not maybe completely out, but to the point where it's just like I said, what's the point in buying the CD player when I am playing everything through MP3 or something like that?
I see consoles becoming niche anywhere from 5 to 7, from 7 to 10 years. I know it's a really weird scale, but the reason why I say that is it's still too soon to phase it out now because we already know another Xbox is coming. What we don't know is if another PlayStation is coming. That's the first sign.
Wait, there's another PlayStation coming. It's PlayStation 6.
We don't know that because they're trying to tout 8K 120. So I don't even think it's real. Anyway, I'm being messy again. I'm sorry. PlayStation 6 is not going to be able to do 8K 120. I'm sorry. Or 8K 60. I think that's ridiculous. I'm sorry. I don't know. You're going to be lucky if you get 8K 24. Okay. 5 to 7, 7 to 10 years. More so 7 to 10. going into the 2030s of it all, the next decade is when I could see consoles becoming way more niche, because by 2030 Apple Vision should be more cemented within society, as far as, if it does well on its initial launch, for even regardless how much it costs, if they can get it to go somewhere and then downscale from there, in cost and how they make the device, because that's kind of the rumor right now. That's why they're starting so high. And that, along with the progress in AI, is why I say more so by the 2030s, rather than within this decade. I don't ever see consoles obviously going away, but I do see them becoming niche. I don't, but I don't really ever see PCs becoming niche, because we all kind of use them and need them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's a different scenario. But I do see advancements in what kind of PCs we can be using. Like, who knows if by the by 2035, we don't need a huge ass gaming rig to have a gaming PC. You know what I mean? And I'm not even talking cloud. Like, I'm talking local gaming here. But who's to say what we'll have by then? No one, even with foresight. Because some company is probably working on something nobody else knows about, and that changes the face of the industry until the next thing does. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We don't know what's going to happen. We never thought we would see MLB The Show on Game Pass, and yet here we are. So, I know it's a very wild example compared to that, but that should be an example.
No, I don't think it's too wild, because who would have thought that a subscription service would be in gaming way back when we're renting games from, Blockbuster? I couldn't have never told you, there's going to be, Sony or Xbox in particular in 20 years is going to have a subscription service where, all of these rental places are going to be non-existent, and you're going to be able to just do everything digital. Like I wouldn't have been able to tell you that stuff back in the day at all. So I see what you're saying, using that as a reference, as well as, that's kind of a double reference, because you also then said a PlayStation game, on a Xbox platform, which is pretty wild too. A lot of this stuff is pretty nuts. Thinking about the future, all we can do is really kind of guess and throw out opinions on what we think could or may happen. I like the idea where you were talking about, like, somewhere like maybe 10 years. I'm gonna say the generation after the next is gonna be and that's tragic for consoles.
That's kind of where my head is at. That's why it's more so 7 to 10 rather than 3 to 5.
Because I'm thinking, like, the next generation will come through. It'll be good. Things might start getting a little bit more expensive. You know what I'm saying? Things might start to get a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
But
but
after the next generation, and while they're, and you're seeing PlayStation, you're seeing Xbox. The only one you're not really seeing doing a whole lot is Nintendo, but they're already mobile. Right? They're just not on a cell phone mobile, but they're able to be picked up and taken other places, right? And
the next Xbox will be called Xbox Prime X and Prime S.
Maybe, but I'm telling you that Xbox is jumping into phones. They want to do it. PlayStation is doing it. I honestly think in not next generation, but the generation after that, we might see the brand new Apple PlayStation. I think Sony's going to get
surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Sony get purchased,
like how Disney bought. But no, sorry, continue.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Sony get purchased up by Apple. To me, they're already kind of like one in the same in a lot of different areas.
Like Disney bought Fox,
very premium product. Hard to argue with their products that they have, but they definitely going to make you spend that money.
I can definitely see that being a partnership or a merger or whatever you want to call it. I agree with that. I could see Apple, because obviously financially they're crushing it, of course. But
And I think they both listen to their fans just as well.
Apple may be Apple when it comes to their prices and upgrades and whatnot, but if it's one thing they do, they listen to an extent.
Yeah, to an extent.
To an extent. The only thing they don't listen to is pricing.
Exactly.
But I will say this though, for what the new iPhone 15 Pro can do, I'm so glad they did that. Actually, I was surprised. By the time that they announced ProRes 4K 60 recording RAW, I was like, if this phone can't be the same price as it was last year, it's got to be at least $100 more. It's the same price. That actually surprised me. A lot of people can say that the iPhone 15 Pro might not have a lot of upgrades compared to the 14 Pro, but I'll be very honest with you. How many devices can you buy for that price range that can shoot raw video at ProRes 4K 60? If you're not a creative, you don't buy a Pro. Pros are for creatives. It doesn't have to be, but that's what it's for. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, so for me, like, that sold me on the iPhone 15 Pro was that ProRes 4K 60. Because I'm like doing gaming content and dance content. Imagine what I could do with that type of quality. You know what I mean? So that actually made me excited. If they did not do that, I would have been like, oof. You should have just held off USB-C for the Pro model and then made it that way, to make it worth something. But when they announced all USB-C on all 4 models, I literally said, what is going to be special about the Pro to make anyone want to buy the Pro? To me, ProRes 4K 60 is the reason. I think that's worth it. Is if you're a creative that is serious about that shit, that's what makes it worth it. So, wow, I seem to always go on tangents. But what was your original question? Because I wanted.
Well, you answered it already, bro. You answered it already. It was like the phasing out of console. So
that's right.
You answered that pretty much already.
So I agree. I agree with you. That's why I lean on the 7 to 10 years. Like, not this generation, but the generation after is when you'll start to see that downhill slide as far as consoles being the main way to go. Because even right now, and I said this was going to happen 3 years ago when I was gaming on Stadia during lockdown. I literally said, imagine going into a Best Buy, you walk in, another guy walks in, you're looking at a new TV, he's looking at a new TV, you both start to walk away after getting your new TV, and then he goes to try to buy a console. He asks you if you game. You say, yeah. And he goes, are you going to buy a console too, or do you have one? Oh, I don't need one. I got my TV. And you walk out the door, and he has to spend another $500-$600 on a console because he just bought a 4K 120 TV. You know what I mean?
That has like cloud or something already integrated into it to be able to play games. Like, I mean, they're already doing that.
No cloud, hook your TV up to Ethernet, and you're good to go. You don't need all the additional peripherals. Like, even right now, I'll be very honest with you. If I wanted to, I could sell my PC, I could sell my Xbox Series S, just keep my M1 MacBook Air, and use my other device that I have to live stream gaming off of my M1 MacBook Air. If I wanted to. I don't want to because I love all the devices that I have because it's so much fun. But if I wanted to, I could do that. And that is where we're at now. That is crazy. And that is what I've dreamt about for so long, where gaming could just be accessible like how it was when we grew up playing in the arcades. You wanted to go play a video game, you got up, you went to the arcade. That's what we did as kids. So now here, it's like, I want to play anywhere I go, I can do that. I want to play at my desk, I can do that. My TV, I can do that. On an iPad, MacBook, this or that, I can do that. That's where we're at now. So if somebody wants to buy the console, yeah, that's cool. But that example I just explained to you is what makes me agree with you about where we're going. That's by 2035, 2040, that's where we're going to be, where you're just going to the stores to buy, where it's almost like you buy the console or the PC and then you buy everything else, and everything else is the peripheral. Now it's going to be where the monitor or the TV is what you're buying, But if you wanted the console, that's the peripheral. That's the accessory. That's no longer the main system where you run everything from.
I mean, I'm
that's
telling
just
you,
if you want it.
once they can have a consistent like 4K 60 on a TV through cloud gaming, the jig might be up. It might be
the minute
completely over for. I mean, like I said, they'll still be around, but guess what? I can still go to PlayStation and buy a CD, or not PlayStation, Best Buy. I can still go to Best Buy and buy a CD player to this day.
If you wanted to, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I could go to certain places. I could probably go to Walmart and find a tape player.
I have a record player. I have a record player behind me. Yeah. No,
but the thing is that's not where majority of people are anymore. I can go buy it still.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I could buy a lot of things, right? I can go buy
like
wood for a fire, but most people are in their house. You know what I mean?
But no, it's like that's why I was saying what I was saying earlier. Like, it's nothing against Hardeep, but that foresight, the same people that did not see the transition between CD to digital to MP3 were saying the exact same shit. This ain't never going to happen. And my dad, who is retired from Universal Studios, sound engineer, post-production engineering for the movie department, was practically running the bitch before he retired. Taught me all of this. Showed me what was coming before it was there. I knew about the iPod a year before it came out because my dad knew, because my dad had to help Universal Records figure out a way to start getting music over into a digital space to be played on an MP3 player such as the iPod. You know what I mean? So all you need to do is look back on history, and that's your example. Times are changing. The only way cloud doesn't get there the way we foresee it is if someone not smart enough figures out a solution to the infrastructure for cloud, which I doubt that's going to happen. You know what I mean? GeForce Now has pretty much is the closest ones to cracking that right now. xCloud, once Xbox figures out how to raise their own bit rate for the stream from 15 to 50, then we'll be on better terms. But even xCloud is improving right now. To be honest with you, a lot of the newer games run amazing on xCloud. It's a lot of the older games that were first added to xCloud a couple of years ago that kind of struggle because it's kind of like a remaster for cloud. These games would have to be taken off and re-uploaded to the service in order to be able to be streamed better, like Wreckfest. Wreckfest is a great example. I play a lot of Wreckfest, but if you play it on xCloud, you're going to see quite a few issues. Right now, if you play Starfield on xCloud, you will barely see any issues at all, if any. And that is simply because Wreckfest has been on the service, I think, since the beginning, if not right after Project xCloud, which was like alpha stage, before they officially launched beta. So, man, the days of Project xCloud were so fun. I was going to work. I was working third shift. I was working at a warehouse. And every time I would go on lunch break, I would just break out my Xbox controller and my iPad, and I would play through the Project xCloud app. And my coworkers would be like, "Man, you really playing Madden on that right now? You really playing some what was the other game? I was playing Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I was playing the story campaign, and they're just watching me every time we went to lunch, and they're like, "Bro, you really doing this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's the cloud. You know how you watch Netflix? It's Netflix for gaming, I guess. You know, like that's what this is." I miss that time trying to tell people what it was and watching their faces be like, "Oh shit." Right now, that kind of doesn't really happen anymore because people are either sold on the idea that cloud either doesn't work or they just don't know jack shit about it. Or if they do know about it, it's only the ones that use it. So it's like, you only hear what you hear, right? So that's why I always try to encourage people, like, you guys really should try cloud, because if you're spending time on Spotify, iTunes, Netflix, and all these other services, and you're streaming and you're not downloading these pieces of entertainment that you're watching or listening and watching from cloud, it's all coming from a data center, right? It's all being hosted for you, right? Guess what? It's the freaking cloud. So how in the hell are you gonna tell me that cloud gaming ain't gonna go freaking nowhere? When our everyday life is based on the cloud, iCloud, freaking OneCloud,
Yeah,
Google
OneDrive.
Cloud,
Yeah.
OneDrive, Dropbox. You know what I'm saying? Netflix, Disney Plus. If you can download that content to your device if you want to watch offline. To be very honest with you, I don't know anybody that actually downloads any of that stuff to watch offline unless they know they're going to run out of power, so then they do it. But the people I know,
Yeah, the only time I
none of
do
them
that,
do that.
only time I ever do that is when I'm going on a vacation, and
Exactly.
them internet signals sometimes don't be hitting, especially if you're driving through like Colorado or something.
Exactly. And when the internet ain't hitting, guess what's struggling? The cloud that your application is using and relying on, because it's hosted at a data center or somewhere that doesn't belong to you. Because if it did belong to you, you would have uploaded it to your old school iTunes. You know what I'm saying? So, like, which you can only get on Windows 8. I don't know. But you cannot I am not saying, I have to say this a certain way. I am not saying that I know for certain what's going to happen with cloud, but you cannot convince me that cloud is not going somewhere for gaming when we have all of these other examples. Can anything fall apart at any moment in time? Hell yes. And has it in so many different ways that I've seen in my life? Hell yes. Anything's possible. But that doesn't mean something can't happen just because you think it's possible that it won't happen. Many people think Santa Claus isn't true, doesn't make it right.
Man.
Sorry.
All right.
I'm just saying, bro.
Oh
Just
man.
saying.
So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely with you on the side of cloud gaming is like a future to not really be reckoned with. It will be wreck and shop. I mean, there's a reason why
Give it time. Yeah.
remember a lot of, Sony fans not that long ago were saying, PlayStation would never, right? Well, they're about to introduce a cloud for y'all as well.
The dumb part about that statement, let me say real quick.
Yeah.
Let me say real quick. The dumb part about that statement, PlayStation would never. PlayStation was one of the first.
Right.
I'm sorry.
With PlayStation now.
So PlayStation has been ponies. Like, it's weird. So weird.
And yeah, I mean, I believe they purchased what was it called, like Gaikai or something like that, or
yeah, I believe you're correct. I would have to relook that up.
Yeah, so they knew, and see, PlayStation's done this plenty of times in the past, where they knew where the direction was going, but they kind of backed off because they were. I'm not going to say they were dumb by any means at all. In fact, in this situation, they were smart. They purchased it, kind of put it out a little bit, but then kind of Googled it and then wrapped it back up and said, they ain't ready. They
Google
ain't ready.
Baby.
And so what do they do instead? They let Microsoft run in front and say, you know what? I'm the big idiot. I got it here first. I'm doing it. And it doesn't look so great because they're like they seem to be the pioneers of like console gaming with cloud. Although PlayStation had it earlier. It's the same thing with Reward.
And so did Nvidia.
Well, I'm saying with consoles, just with consoles.
Well, yeah, in the console space, you are correct. Yes.
But it's the same thing with reward systems. PlayStation had a reward program before Xbox did. They did.
They did?
Yes.
I don't even remember that down.
They had a reward system a long time back. Yes, they did.
But Xbox is what pushed them to have their system that they have now, right?
But what I'm saying is here's the trend. PlayStation tries and dabbles and gets into it just a little bit, like they just toe dip a little bit. And then they're like, the water's too cold. Water's too cold. But here comes Xbox cannonballing. into the lake. And then Sony's like, that looks a little dangerous. And then they keep watching. They're like, hold on. That's making sense. Now they look like they're copying when they actually initiated it. Does that you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
Xbox is willing to make
Apple...
Xbox is sometimes willing to make themselves look wild just to convince you that it makes sense.
And I am all for that because as I am as a dancer is wild, and I will be as wild as I can until it makes sense to you. But that's why I agree with you about Apple buying out Sony, because the one thing Apple's really good at is waiting until they get it right of what other people have already done, and then they introduce their version. Right. And Sony is not good at that right now. They don't know how to do that. Xbox was born having to do that because PlayStation made it that way. PlayStation doesn't know what that feels like because they never had to live that life. If anybody could help them understand that, it would be Apple. I think, like I said, fire Jim Ryan. Yeah.
All right.
Don't hire Phil Harrison, please.
Ever. What we're going to do now? I'm loving this. What we're gonna do now is I want you to kind of talk about what drew you into content creation, because obviously you ain't shy. You've been dancing, you've been doing stuff in front of people for quite some time, right? But what made you be like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna take my talents to South Beach. No, I'm just kidding. No, you're gonna take your talents to the internet, right? To going ahead and to go ahead and start podcasting and shit. So what was that all about? Like, why did you get into podcasting, and when did it happen?
I was thinking Lil Wayne, South Beach, Miami, ho. What made me want to get into content creation was just realizing this is what people were doing. Once it got to a point where more people were podcasting or just creating videos and content, I can't even remember what year, to be honest with you, where I was like, okay, yes, 4 years ago is when I decided to take podcasting and content creation a little bit more seriously. But when I actually had an interest, I can't remember specifically what year, but all I do know is that I was just watching people on YouTube and Twitch at the time, and people were just starting to host their own shows, and I was starting to watch their shows because it was covering topics that I love to talk about. Like, if there's anything I could talk about forever with you, it would be Star Wars and Marvel. Like, we could go back and forth all day about that. And even wrestling, like WWE, AEW, Star Wars, and Marvel, I could talk about all night. Just because I love that content. And so a lot of what I was watching was actually based around like movies and film reviews. Not so much a lot of gaming stuff. And then, like Star Wars talk, lore, and all of that. And then I just was like, okay, I want to do this too, but like I got to pick a medium, right? What am I going to try? So I got into like live streaming mobile gaming a little bit, but then I went from there and tried doing like film and TV reviews or like explainer videos, like reaction videos, which now that I'm more comfortable in podcasting, I'd rather talk about that stuff in a podcasting format. So I'm kind of considering that. I don't know if I'll do it on the same channel, but it is something I'm thinking about. And then I went to Star Wars news specifically. Then I tried doing wrestling news, and then I ended up having a wrestling podcast with a friend, but then the friend could no longer do the show. So that fell apart. And that was the last show I ever had. And I wasn't doing anything. And then all of a sudden, for like about a year and a half, mainly because of what was going on prior to COVID, is when I started to get that itch again, right? Then COVID hit, lockdown hit, I found Boom. And that's what changed it all for me. Because once I found Boom, I found everybody else. And about, I want to say a year and a half ago, is when I started working on the idea of G-Wave TV and wanting to come back to podcasting. Or maybe a year ago is when I started to like work on the name, the look, the logo, how am I going to start it? What am I going to use to live stream? You know, so who am I going to watch as far as inspiration, you know, for how I want to do my show and all of that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, that's what led me to now, to coming back. And I did create a G-Wave channel, and then I realized my personal channel, the Dusty Uno for gaming, is already in position and primed and ready to go to do much bigger things, and it would take me so much longer to have to birth a new channel and try to make it with that. So I figured, let me just move everything back to my personal channel. I hit up Silent Cypher and Retri and a few other people, and they gave me great advice, and Silent Cypher agreed, like, why not? But it was funny because as he was saying why not, I had already changed the logo and everything back to my personal channel. I just knew it was the right decision. So it's hard to say when, but that's just kind of what got me into ultimately doing this today, was first watching movie reviews and stuff like that, and watching Star Wars videos and Marvel talk videos, you know. God, I really want a Star Wars podcast again, because man, Ahsoka has been so good. And I've listened to a few other podcasts, like not even gaming podcasts, but like just a podcast around the tubes. And there's some things being discussed where I'm like, that's not what happened in the show. And I get very defensive. Like if you're gonna talk about Star Wars and you don't know what you're talking about, I'm gonna be in the chat. I'm gonna say some shit, because I take the lore seriously. Like people take Halo lore seriously, right? That's why there's people who hate the TV show. I take Star Wars lore seriously. You know what I mean? So I'm willing to adapt with it as it changes. There may be certain projects that were created that I don't like, but man, do I ever miss having that, you know? So, like, seeing Mav bring back Fun Pop makes me, like, it's giving me that itch. I'm like, oh, should I bring back First Order Takeout? Which was like my fun little fast food name for, like, if the Death Star had a fast food restaurant, like managed by Kylo Ren, it would be called First Order Takeout. And it would be like Chinese food, you know, on the Death Star. So, yeah,
I feel that.
So it's, you know, not, that's the long way of saying it, but yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, following that up, like, I always like to ask this, especially to people that are up and coming and, you know, really working hard to get their name out and stuff like that. What is something that you're aspiring to either do, be, or achieve while, you know, being a content creator?
So when I say this, I don't mean financially. I mean creatively. What I personally want out of this is just a successful channel. To me, getting it to 10,000 subs and above would make it successful in my eyes. Where I go from there is, who knows? You know what I mean? Obviously, I have some dreams down the line, but I'm trying to keep it more close to the chest. Obviously, the first step is 1K. But my personal thing would be to get this channel to be successful. And I don't necessarily mean financially, but I just mean creatively. I'm creating content that I want to create. I'm having fun creating it, and I'm building up a community that enjoys being there with me. And I'm building a round table of friends that are gaming knights, if you will, in my eyes, that I can call upon when it's time to go to battle and talk some gaming. You know what I'm saying? Trying to keep everything in the theme of what I'm talking about here, but and then on a more grander scale, what would I like to come out of this? I'll be very honest with you, just new opportunities. Like, I would love to go to a Gamescom, and it would be sick as shit to see your ass there. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be insane.
And like I would love to go to like an Xbox showcase for E3 season. And same things, catch your ass there and we go grab a beer and have a conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like those types of things that I got to do as a dancer, you know, like go to big dance events and meet other dancers. I want to go to big gaming events and meet other gamers. Like, I want to meet Boom in person. I want to see Infinite, you know, I want to see Keasante. I want to meet Wandering Dutch, Mav, Pong, you, Matt, you know, I want to meet like the mods that I have on my channel. I want to meet Cypher. You know, I already told C Money that if him and his wife ever come out to Cali, you know, and bring the kids, let me and my wife know, and we'll host a cookout. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. Like I would ultimately just like to gain new memories, new relationships, new experiences, I guess, you know? Like if I can get the channel big enough, I guess it would be a dream actually to be able to get like a um like a specialty tag for an event or something as like media, you know, or whatever, you know, um to be able to be there and experience those type of events in, I guess, in two different ways. One is a fan and one is a professional. You know what I mean? I got to do that as a dancer, and so I would like to do that as I would love to do that as a gamer. Um, the other thing, nobody really knows me yet, right? In this community, everybody's still getting to know me,
Sure.
but I want a good circle of friends. I'm not afraid to say that. You know, like I know how to live on my own and be on my own. I know, but I also know how to be a part of a community. And all the people that I'm watching right now online and that I've been watching for however long over the past couple of years, like these are the people, including you, these are the people I chose to want to associate with. These are the people I chose to want to actually build a relationship with, because I feel like these are the people that actually have something to offer to not only the industry, but to just people around them in general. You know what I mean? Good spirited, good hearted people that don't just talk gaming, but at any moment could talk life. And they'll give it to you straight, but in a way that makes you look forward to the next day. Those are the people I looked out for. You know, when I saw you host, loved your vibe. Same thing with Boom, Matt, everybody else across the board. You know, if when I see it, I know it, and until you do something to cross it, you're innocent until you want to be guilty for something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Who am I to judge you? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like only God can judge me, so I'm gone. Either love me or leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? And if only God can judge me, then I am not going to be your judge. Um, you know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
we're all guilty of something, but at the end of the day, it's whether you're a good-hearted, good-spirited person, like I said. And everyone I have found in this community so far, and the people I continue to meet, and then I like shoot them a message, I say hi in the chat, I associate with them. It's not for negative personal gains. It's because I actually enjoy you. If I don't say hi to you and talk to you and engage with you, it's probably because I don't enjoy you, to be honest. Like, I know that sounds fucked up, but let's just be 100 about it. You know what I'm saying? If I don't interact with you, it's either one, I don't know you yet, or two, because I don't want to. And if I don't want to, you have to be so. But if I don't want to, you have to really be doing something I don't agree with, because I'm not. I like I said, I'm not God. I can't judge you. I don't have to associate with you if I don't agree with something, but to judge you when I don't even know you is what people did to me all my life. So I know that I hate that. So why would I do that to others? And so, I mean, I'm not perfect, but I try to live by that as best as I can, because even I'm guilty of many things. We all are. So why should I think I'm any better than anyone else? But if you do something that I do not agree with, that goes against my moral code and what I have accepted from people over the years when they've made their own mistakes, like you really got to do something twisted.
So that kind of leads me into the next question then. Or more or less, I want you to kind of just blurt out some people. So I want you to tell me the types or specific people that give you the confidence or kind of, you know, kind of make you happy to be a content creator and, you know, continue to keep plugging away and trying to be better every time.
Boom. Mr. Boomstick XL.
Mm.
Because he is the only one, and he is not the only one that inspires and motivates me, by the way. Let me be clear about that. But the main one is Boom. Because he is pretty much the main and only, if not the only one, that I will message and say, I'm rewatching an episode back to see how I did. And then we'll message him a couple of days later when I can, asking, what can I do to be better? You know, he gives me the same answer, be consistent. But, you know, Boom will keep it real. And if that's the answer he keeps giving me, then okay, cool. Keep going. I'm on the right path so far, you know, because he knows I'm asking him for real. Like, Boom's show is part of what saved me mentally when I had an unfortunate loss a couple of years ago. And his show means a lot to me. Because when I watch it, it reminds me of what I was able to get through. And so that's why I try to contact him when I can without feeling like I'm bothering him or anything, because I needed saving really bad at that time. And I needed to surround myself around things, not necessarily to be distracted from the pain, but to find a way to deal with it, find a way to accept the pain and accept what had happened for what it is and what it was. And Boom's show was one of the things that constantly helped, because his show comes on at 9 a.m, sometimes 7 a.m. For me on the West Coast, right? And when I'm waking up during that time, I'm waking up depressed, tears in my eyes, pain everywhere, wanting to think the darkest thoughts one could ever. And yet Boom's show comes on and he's positive and he's energetic and he has great topics and great guests and great hosts. And that just, I needed that during that time, you know. I've told him this story. I don't know if he fully understands like how I actually feel, just because like if I went into detail about what happened, you'd understand how heavy this is.
Right. Fair enough.
So there's music, there's TV shows, there's friends, there's life around you. There's anything that you could try to turn to take your mind off of it. There's substances that maybe you shouldn't even use to try to take your mind off of what's going on. And what helped me was his show. I'll forever be thankful for that. And it wasn't even something he was doing personally for me. It was just him being him. And that's all I needed, you know?
That's wonderful.
All I will say is this, rest in peace to my son, Azariah, my unborn son. And Daddy loves you, and I take you everywhere with me every day. I have a bracelet, you know, that says Daddy's angel, that has a wing on it. And yeah, that's all I'll say.
That's some delicate shit right there, bro. Well, more power to you.
People will find out sooner or later. It's on my Instagram. So.
Oh yeah, and I mean, and it's the internet, bro. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, more power to you, man. God damn, that was some real shit right there. And I mean, and this is one of the reasons I love having this type of show on this channel, is just because we do exactly what the name of the show is called. We get behind them sticks. We get to, you know, figure out the reality of the people, you know, where they came from, what they did, you know, how they got where they're at, you know, hardships and great stuff. You know, it's life all at the end of the day. It's all life. We're all experiencing it differently. We express things differently, but but the pain sometimes is can be just as detrimental as the as the positive shit that happens through our day to day and everything. So, but one thing I want to really say is, man, I appreciate you feeling comfortable enough to come that far outside of your shell. When I know something like that, anytime that there's personal or family or whatever issue, like it's just not something you just say.
Yeah, that's why it kind of took me a while to even get there, because I didn't think I was gonna say it, to be honest with you. And yeah.
But I mean, that takes a lot of strength, a lot of courage, a lot of growth, and I just want to say, I'm happy for you for
Thank
for
you.
being able to be strong enough to say that, to still be willing to kick it, bullshit, and hang out and keep it real with us within the gaming
I need it.
community.
I need this. I need this. My wife says it all the time. I need this. This she feels like this is therapy for me, because my best friend, who was the DJ for the Ellen show, committed suicide recently. And that, attached with the loss of my son, is what's been eating me alive. So I needed this. Like, my brother Twitch is the reason why I became the dancer I became professionally, and is also a big reason why I believed in myself to be able to create other avenues for myself if I wanted to, because he always felt like I was capable of anything. So shout out to my big brother Twitch, rest in peace. I love you, bro. So it's been very difficult for me to grasp what it means to see the light and be okay with going towards the light instead of just sitting in the darkness. So for me, I'm actually happy that you have made me comfortable enough to be able to say that without breaking down in tears, without feeling like I need to hide my face or anything right now, and still be able to talk with you, because it has been very hard to even it was hard for me to tell Boom, and I'm texting him this information. You know what I mean? Like, that was hard as hell, because I even at that time when I first told him, I wasn't ready to talk about it to anybody. And so I wanted to say thank you for making me feel comfortable, because, like I said, I didn't even know I was going to even mention this tonight. I wasn't planning on talking about it at all. But you asked the right question, and the answer is Boom. Boom, as far as gaming is concerned and podcasting and content creation goes, it saved my life. And he doesn't even know it. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna grab that for you. Chicken Eye in the chat was asking what your
thank you, Chicken Eye 210.
What your channel was, so we can go support you, because I mean there's a few things up here in the chat. Whatchamacallit, Chicken Eye says, dude, this guy is real. Props. FarQ comes through and said, respect to you, Dusty, and telling us your story. I've not known you long in the community, but I'm so happy you are in it, bro. So
thank you.
So you getting love out.
That means
here,
a lot. That means a lot to hear, and people will say this shit all the time, but I really do take all of that with me. I take all of that with me. If you tell me you support me and you actually mean it, then I mean it when I say I take that with me. So thank you, because I mean, like FarQ is hilarious, and so I'm glad to have a new online friend. Man, FarQ is last night in my podcast, FarQ had me dying, and I just appreciate that. That's the kind of energy I want around me. Like I said it. I think I said it to you when you first came on my show. Was I'm trying to do what I did how I came up as a dancer in that industry, and replicate that in the gaming industry. And part of that was allowing myself to kind of open up to the community a little bit and humanize myself. I'm not just the dancer, but this is also what makes me real. So, but it's all thanks to you, dude. Like I said, I'm not mad that I actually brought that up. That kind of felt very relieving a little bit, because I'll be honest.
That's amazing.
I haven't really talked about any of this. with anyone. So, you know, it's hard. And I don't know, it's weird. Like, this is why I said what I said on my show about, you know, like joking about co-host and all that stuff. Just you've got a comfortable vibe that it feels like anyone could just kind of talk to you. And I always kind of get that when I watch you talk with other people. They just feel like they can like converse with you, and I get that too. You know,
Man,
you got a good vibe, bro.
yeah,
You do.
man.
You got a good vibe.
Hey, man, I ain't about. This came straight out of J Rock's mouth off of Trailer Park Boys, brother. I ain't about killing. I'm about chilling. That's what it's all about over here, man. I just want to chill. I just want to have a good time. I want everybody else to have a good time. If we argue, sure. I don't care about arguing with people. It's the disrespect that I don't like. So yeah, we can argue all day. I mean, it don't matter if I argue with you, another person that loves Xbox as much as me, or somebody that hates Xbox as much as you hate PlayStation. So, yeah, shout out to you, and shout out to those of you in the chat that stuck around and are kicking it. We still got a little bit more to go. I just have some of the quick hitter questions that I do with everybody. That I mean, they're very similar questions, but I always get different answers. So I just keep bringing it and keep doing the same thing. But just a couple more shout outs I want to give to you. In case you guys didn't see it, I put his link in the chat in case you're too lazy to go to the description. I went on ahead and did that, so you can just click on that and go hit that subscribe button.
Thank you, guys.
Your boy Dusty right here. Support your guy. He's a real one out here. Ray Chi comes through and says, "You and your son will go on my thoughts when I pray tonight. May God take care of you and your family, Dusty." So I mean, that's real shit right there. And then Pyro,
thank you.
And then Pyro up in the chat, Pyro Mad says hi, Ham, and hi again, Dusty. Just dropped in. Glad to get to know you better. You got a good head on your shoulders from our little interactions. I knew what you meant, Pyro. You didn't have to retype that. There's people to this day that still call me Han Solo, so it ain't no thing. I know what you meant. It probably auto corrected for your ass or something. I don't know. Whatever. But
too sweet.
I appreciate you, Farq. He says Ham is one of those good people. That's why I got so much love and respect for him. Love the interview. Hey man, we love it too.
No, I'm excited for you, bro. Let me talk you up. Let me big you up a little bit. I'm excited for you because I think you're on a good path with what you have going on with your own show. You and Loke are hilarious together. Like I'd be dying, bro. You and Matt, when you guys get together, that is a great pairing. I like the Two Player Podcast. Shout out to the Two Player Podcast. That's like literally, I guarantee you, one of my new favorite shows to listen to, because you and Matt have two different personalities, but they work very well together, and that's hard to find when podcasting with other people, right? So, TSWS Gaming, to me, like needs to be 1K now. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys for subscribing to me. But TSWS Gaming needs to be 1K now. It needs to be 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K, all the way to 10K and on. Just because I feel like you are doing something great with this. And, you know, like I even told you earlier, and I've made several compliments about your show because I'm always constantly thinking about how can I design my show to be aesthetically better. And from how you host it to what you talk about, how you don't give a shit, to the aesthetics of the show, that's what I'm trying to learn from, and so that's why I watch TSWS. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, you deserve your flowers. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna give me my flowers, you deserve your flowers. You know what I'm saying? You are on to a good path. I think, you know, I'm so glad nothing else became worse of your accident, but maybe that accident was a blessing in disguise because it led you here.
It sure did.
You know what I'm saying?
It sure did.
Sure as shit, right? So
yeah. It sure did. Because I had nothing going. Your boy was laying up in bed, and I literally couldn't move. My back was so messed up that I I remember one time, like back was so bad that bro, it brought me to tears just trying to pee standing up. I mean,
I know that feeling. Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
something. I like
Yeah.
like that was some pain I don't ever remember having.
Man,
Like
I had a bad car accident, so I know what it different, but I know how you're feeling. Yeah, My
oh,
God, bro.
it's a helpless feeling. It is a
Man.
helpless feeling. But anyways, let's go on ahead and get into these questions.
Giving this man his flowers.
Yeah, man, it's just wild. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you, Dusty, for just being a real one, being honest. You know, no fluff, just keeping it a buck. I appreciate
Shout out
all
to
you guys
Rachel
in the chat that repeatedly come back here to support your boy. When I look back at the studio, like YouTube studio and whatnot, and I see all the different people that say stuff throughout the chat. Sometimes when we got a lot of different people, and there's people saying stuff in the chat that I've never seen before, and then I go back to look at my subscriber count, and it hasn't really moved, and I'm a little. On one hand, I'm like kind of like, dang it, move.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I was like, so y'all have been supporting me that long. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because if you're able to say something in my chat, it means you're subscribed.
Mm-hmm.
So some of these names I see
Subscribers
popping up
only.
and stuff like that, and my subscriber count's not moving up. I'm like, wow, they subscribed. Like that's what's up. Like that's a dope feeling. It's extra dope. But the last thing I'm gonna read from
I agree with that,
Pyro
man.
real quick. Well, actually, I'm gonna read a couple of these real quick.
Go for it.
So Chicken Eyes says, Dusty, you got a new follower, bro. Dusty, you talking hit home. Thank you, fam. Ray Cheese says, go Team Loke. That's some BS. And then Pyro says, TSWS Gaming, I can't read that word.
He says
Pedantic?
I'm pedantic.
I don't know what that
due to
means.
autism.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Pedantic. Due to autism, will always correct myself. He's very aware of his actions. Sometimes people who are autistic aren't always aware of what they're doing. So I think pedantic makes him very aware. So he
Okay.
feels like he must correct himself if he does something. My nephew is autistic. I love him to death. And but he's a little bit more extreme. So as far as being aware, I'm not really sure. I could be very wrong on this, but I think that's what he means. I could be very wrong on this. But shout out to Pyro. Pyro has been showing mad love. Pyro even said to me yesterday, Pyro was like, what? So I don't get no what's good with flames? And I'm like, oh, damn. And your name is Pyro. Oh, shit. Because, I always come through with what's good and, the too sweet hand with the flames and shit, So he was like, oh, so what the Pyro in here don't even get the fire. And I was like, oh, my bad, dog. I got you.
Man,
so
I got
three
holla at
fires.
Pyro sometime. He's a good dude. He's been around here for a hot minute now. He's been subscribed to me for some time now. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that stops through to show some love, especially if you stop through in the chat to say something. That takes a little bit of effort, not a lot, but a little, but enough for me to be happy. So I appreciate y'all. But let's get down to these last few questions. We
yes, sir.
A little bit over the time that I like to usually set, but fuck it, I always break the time that I'm trying to
My
set.
bad.
No, you're fine. That just means that we're actually talking about something and I ain't bored. So that's a good thing.
Facts.
But so the next thing that I like to ask everybody is what gaming genre do you refuse or not really like playing?
Turn-based. That one's easy. Turn-based makes me bored.
Fair enough. I got a weird question to add to this that I don't ask anybody else.
3.
No,
I'm not playing Baldur's Gate 3.
No, that had nothing to do with it. I want to know, as a dancer, how somebody like you feels about a game like Dance Dance Revolution.
I think it's great for people who maybe not know how to dance or don't have the confidence to dance around other people, so it gets them up off the couch to actually try. I've had a few students come to my dance studio and say the only experience I have was playing Dance Dance Revolution or playing Just Dance or doing whatever game was in, Dave and Buster's that, forced them to dance or something. And one of my boys, his name is Toybox. Shout out to Toybox, Jonathan Bronner. He's one of the world's best house dancers. Okay. If you don't know what house dancing is, it goes to house music. There, you've learned something. So he's literally one, in my opinion, he taught me how to house. He's one of the world's best house dancers, and I kid you not, he used to post videos up online of him house dancing while playing DDR and was hitting everything while legitimately just house dancing and was hitting everything. So, like, I've seen many people do DDR and Just Dance and then actually take that and use that confidence they got from that to actually get into dance. So I have nothing against that. What I do have something against is somebody going to the club when I'm trying to get my drink and swerve on, and you're coming in there with Fortnite dances. Get the fuck out. Sorry.
All right, that was a perfect answer to that question.
It's never okay.
What is the best 3 games that you've played this year?
Starfield. No, I'm just kidding. So far this year, the best 3 games that I've played. Yes, one is Starfield. Damn, what came out this year? My brain is not working right now. What came out recently? Remind me. What else did we have? Oh, I didn't play much of it, but I really did enjoy Hi-Fi Rush. I thought I want to go back to it just because of how musically based it is, but I think that's a great game. Like, I really think that's a great game.
All right, that's 2.
So I'm trying to remember off the top of my head what's come out like recently this year.
Well, remember, this is the past year, so it's all the way up to September 14th of 2022.
Oh crap! Yeah, you're right. Forza Horizon 5? No, wait,
Nope.
that was 21. No, was that 21?
That was the end of 2021.
It was. Yeah, you're right. Damn. I am drawing a blank. What came out? I need a list of games that came out because I'm
keep in
oh
mind. Now, I should have clarified this earlier. Keep in mind, this doesn't even have to be brand new games. It's just the best 3 games you played in the last year.
Oh, that I played. Okay, I was thinking about the best 3 games that have launched. My bad.
Rachie says Plague Tale.
Oh yeah, you're right. The best 3 games that I've personally played within the last year would be Starfield, Halo after it's finally been improved. I really like where Infinite is right now. I'm very much enjoying that. But obviously not playing it because of Starfield. And to pick a different genre, I would go back to Need for Speed Unbound. And the reason why I bring that one
not mad
up
at that.
is because I feel like it's the first Need for Speed game in a long time that is actually, like, it might not be for everybody, but it's very sound in all areas. Like, the map is beautiful to explore. I love the graphics and the way the tires like put off the smoke and how it's animated. You can tell it's very kind of inspired by like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, kind of a little bit with the way they went with some of the animation. And then having A$AP Rocky a part of it, it just kind of brought it all together for me. And I know the past couple of Need for Speed games, a lot of people were really kind of like about them. That's why people always talk about Heat and, Most Wanted and Hot Pursuit, because the other Need for Speed games, when they tried redoing the franchise and whatnot, weren't hitting for people. So Unbound comes out and I was like, okay, now they're on to something. And I'll be very honest, I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on Unbound. I feel like way too many people are sleeping on that, So those would be my 3 off the top of my head. But of course, later on, I could think of something else. So.
What up, C Money just popped up.
Oh, C Money's in the bitch.
The man.
I literally just was talking about you like 20 minutes ago. Good things.
Good things.
Oh, that's another. Let me put this out there now that he's here. That is another person that has inspired me a lot about going forward with all of this is C Money and watching him and how he is with his family. Because not only is it inspiring as a content creator, it's inspiring as a father. and to be able to become friends with someone that I watched podcast and was like, yeah, I want to be his friend because I really like this guy. But then to find out he used to watch me compete with my dance crew when we were on TV is kind of crazy. You know what I mean? And like that we would meet each other through a gaming medium. I think C Money is one of the dopest people out there, and I really hope him and his family can come through for that cookout because me and my wife really want to do that. So just wanted to get that out there.
Oh man! Oh damn! Pyro came through with a €5 super chat saying
Pounds.
everybody should
Pounds.
try.
I got that wrong yesterday.
Is it pounds? I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. I messed it up yesterday.
He put 5 out there. All right. He said 5. So everybody. He said everybody should try Cassette Beast on SNES. Excuse me, Cassette Beast or SNES Zelda. Or I don't know what the hell I'm reading right now, but I'm reading it all wrong. That's what I'm doing. But I'm just gonna read it the way he put it. Everybody should try Cassette Beast SNES Zelda meets Digimon awesome soundtrack Chef's Kiss. And I actually heard about.
Thank you.
I don't remember who told me about Cassette Beast, but they told me that I should give that sucker a try out because I don't know. Maybe they said. They said something that kind of stuck with me a little bit. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. They said it was like more like of an adult, like Pokemon kind of thing. Is that right?
In a sense, yes. So the way that it works, from what I have seen so far, I didn't play much of it. I'm trying to get my wife and my stepdaughter to play it because they love Animal Crossing and she loves Pokemon. So I'm trying to get them into it. But Cassette Beast, I would say yes, is more of a teenage adult, like a little more mature version of what like Pokemon is. And instead of battling with monsters that you catch, you actually become the monsters that are within these different cassette tapes that you collect, I believe. So you actually like transform into that monster. Oh. And I like Cassette Beast. I might be a little wrong on that, so correct me in the chat, please. But what I like about Cassette Beast is it kind of actually has a hip hop feel to it, like a hip hop vibe to it, because it's using cassette tapes and it's along, the lines of using a Walkman back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I would check that out. I would show your daughter. I think she might have an interest. It looks like a really, really fun and cute game. I need to get my wife onto it, but she knows she'll probably be addicted. So.
Is it single player?
Ooh, that is a good question.
Because I've been looking for some more local co-op games with my daughter. And if I can get something that's similar to Pokemon, I can maybe get her off of the Switch for a little bit. She loves playing. Yeah. She likes playing Pokemon on the Switch. God damn.
Let me see what the app says. Hold on a second. Because that's a good question. Cassette Beast. Oh no, that's Gang Beast. Wow.
He said it's a SNES Zelda IE Link to the Past. So it's a single player game, probably.
Yeah, probably. Oh no, it's not. Capabilities: Xbox local co-op 2 and 2, 4K shit. Ultra HD, single player, Xbox achievements, clubs, cloud saves, and live.
All right,
and it's available on Series X and S, One, PC, and it is on the cloud as well.
It's in Game Pass.
It's on everything. Yeah,
I know it's in Game Pass. I seen it in Game Pass not that long ago. So, Pyro,
local co-op 2 and 2.
I know it's not a big game. I'm gonna download it, and me and my daughter are gonna play it this week on Saturday.
Can you let me know how that is?
I can tell you how I feel about it.
Yeah, let me know because I need to convince my wife to try it. She doesn't she doesn't play a lot of the same games that I do, but she does want to finish Hellblade because she loved watching it like it was a movie. So we need to go back to Hellblade before Hellblade 2 comes out. Yikes.
Yeah, Pyro in the chat just says it's quite mature, scary themes. There is multiplayer recently added or coming soon. So yeah, he said nice. It's multiplayer. So yeah, dope. I'm gonna have to definitely give that a check out. But moving on to the next question. because
Yes, sir.
I need to get back to Starfield here soon, bro. I need
Dude,
to.
me too.
I'm itching. But one of my favorite questions, which is here, I gotta ask you, what
Yes,
are
sir.
the or what is your favorite studio, and what game best represents it?
Hmm. That is very hard to answer because games have been releasing broken, semi-broken, partially broken, a third broken. So it's kind of like it always goes back and forth.
Well, keep in mind, you can pick a studio that's dead. Like, I
Yeah, I
asked
could,
myself this question back when I
By the
did
way,
the
shout out to
interview
everyone
with.
at Volition.
Yeah, I asked.
So sad.
I asked this question to Fonzarelli when I had him on the show back when I used to record these shows specifically,
Shout out to Fonzarelli.
and he asked me the question right back. What is your favorite studio? And my answer was Midway.
Ooh, in which game?
NFL Blitz.
Wait, did Midway? Who did NBA Jam?
Acclaim.
Then I'll say Acclaim and Midway, because to me, NBA Jam and NFL Blitz went hand in hand.
They were kind of hand in hand,
and we'd play
Midway, Williamson, I want to say, and Acclaim.
Yeah,
were kind of just like doing the same stuff.
Yeah.
Like, remember, Williamson had Mortal Kombat, but so did Acclaim. So did Midway.
Yes.
Same with some of these basketball games, some like NBA Jam. I believe Midway had that first, and then it ended up in Acclaim or something like that. It bounced.
Yeah, that's why I was curious. Yeah,
and I remember, I think it was Acclaim that ended up getting NBA Jam or something like that, and it was terrible. But it was good for like Midway or something. I'm trying to remember that.
Every time you say Acclaimed, all I can think about is the Acclaimed from AEW, and just scissor me, daddy ass.
I might have said
that's
that
all
wrong.
I keep thinking about.
I might be thinking of EA. I don't know. But anyways, but
I can't remember. I thought it was EA.
All I know is it was either Blitz or
Blitz was so much fun.
NBA Jam that went to EA and they just destroyed it. I don't remember who it was.
Would you want to see a new Blitz in 2024?
Oh, absolutely. But the NFL won't let that happen. The NFL won't let that happen unless it's all fake teams. But then again, I don't know.
They would make so much money.
Yeah, it'd be phenomenal. I mean, I loved all the fake teams in Blitz of the League.
Are we ever going to get NCAA football again?
Oh, yeah. Next year, we're supposed to. It's either in next year or 2025.
That's still on?
In the summer. Yeah, it's supposed to still be happening.
Okay.
Oh, Rachie, you caught my heart right there. I already did some of that. So he's saying Vampire Survivors is the best to play with your kid. Never say no to a free automatic turret. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, me, my wife, and my daughter all together played Vampire Survivors. My daughter, unfortunately, only lasted about 15 minutes within the half hour of the level because her attention span is like pew, 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 pew. But
yeah.
but she was loving it. She just had no idea what to choose, and I had to keep her in line because I wanted her to evolve her stuff and whatnot.
My stepdaughter likes Broforce. She thinks it's funny.
Oh, Broforce is dope. That's another good game to play.
I
with
love
the
that
kids.
game.
Oh man, that game is goofy. You got Chuck Norris, Mr. T, and shit up in that game. That shit is wild.
Oh man, it's so good. And it's funny, and it's at the perfect time that it would come to Game Pass and whatnot, because Expendables 4 is coming out, and I love the Expendables series. Like, that's my shit. And I didn't know Broforce was a parody of the Expendables movies. That's why
I didn't know that either. Made. But that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a fun fact about it. So I was like, that's really interesting and funny. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that movie.
All right. Well, next question. Wait, did you?
Yes, sir.
Did you even? I don't even think you answered this question.
No, I didn't. Well, actually, no, I did because I said I agreed with you. I said it would be NFL Blitz and NBA Jam. That's my answer because those games were just so like, and I could say Metal Slug as well. I loved Metal Slug. Like I would, man, the minute I would get to Red Robin, I tell the waitress, like the hot buzzard wings or buffalo wings, and then I would go straight to the arcade that they had, and I would play Metal Slug until the food came. Oh man. By the way, Red Robin wings, always my favorite growing up. May not be the best, but always my favorite.
That's random, and I never had their wings, so now I'm a little interested. But anyways, what is the most exciting game that you can't wait to play that has yet to come out? And this could be as far in the future, but as long as it's been announced. He's gonna say Wolverine, ain't he?
I hate you. Yeah, I was about to say Wolverine. Because even though I said what I said earlier, that is a game I'm looking forward to because it's about time we get a new Wolverine game. And speaking of which, because that one's far out, I would say Indiana Jones. I cannot wait for that. My dad did some of the sound work for some of the movies when he was working back in the day. So that we used to have the Indiana Jones movies on Laserdisc back in the day. And if you remembered Laserdisc, that was like a giant record-sized CD.
That shit was
God,
crazy.
I miss Laserdisc. Man.
Things were expensive.
And movies were so big, you had to have 2 laser discs and switch sides and shit just to keep watching the movie. Like, I remember that. Like I think Indiana Jones, the first one, had 2 huge discs. So Indiana Jones, Wolverine, Forza Motorsport, just because I've been dying for a new competitive racer, and GT Airborne 7 just ain't cutting it. I say Airborne 7 because if you've been seeing the tweets from Epic Treasure on Twitter, oh my god, I'm just dying at all of these GT7 clips she's been posting. She's just, it's like there's this one clip she posted where nobody was on the track, they were just all in the air. And I know like she's just having fun and whatnot, but man, was it hilarious. But another game, my number one most anticipated indie game got delayed to 2024. And if it gets delayed to 2025, yes.
That game can't stop getting delayed.
Dog, I'm so frustrated because ever since it first got announced, I'm like, I will say in everybody's chat, where is Replaced? I need Replaced. Like, I don't know what it is about this game, but just the fact that it's like a 2D, 2.5D side scroller version of Cyberpunk 2077, pretty much. Please let me play this. You know what I mean? Like a Metroidvania, in a sense, style version of that. Like, please. Mario Wonder would be another one because I did say that would make me buy a Switch. Just that game alone, and I hate to admit to that, but it is what it is. And one more game. Oh, Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh man, that game looks hot.
Yep.
That game
Star Wars
looks
Outlaws.
hot. Man, I can't wait to hear the disrespect for Starfield when that game comes out. You know, there's gonna be some people saying, "Oh, look at what I'm doing."
Well, look at this, and it runs better on PlayStation. No, it don't.
Oh man, it's gonna be something. All right, but anyways, we only got a few more questions left here. The next one I wanted to ask was, what are 2 games that are dead IPs that you'd love to bring back? Now.
Man, I had one on my mind too recently. Oh my god, dead IPs that should come back. God, this is gonna bother me. Can you go first so I can think about mine? Because I had one, but it's like I'm drawing a blank right now.
Oh, you want me to say some dead IPs?
Hell
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I have no problem saying it. So first of all, I would like them to
Parappa the Rapper.
Ooh, okay. All right, excuse me.
Parappa, that was the one that it was. I'm sorry, I remembered it as soon as you started. Parappa the Rapper. I want that to make a return.
Yeah, you want to kick push or kick
coast. God, man, I love that game.
Yeah, let's say so if I'm answering my own question on this one, I don't get to do this.
Def Jam Fight for New York.
That was one of them. God damn, you took the words right out of my mouth. Yes,
Yes.
Def Jam Fight for New York, 100%. I would also, but since you took that, I'm gonna use two others. So
Okay, my bad.
I want to see a new version that's all kitted out and looks. I want to see a game that looks as pretty as Forza Horizon,
Mhm.
but I want it to be Midnight Club. So I want a new dub edition. I want a
Ooh.
new dub edition to come back out, and I want it to
Ooh.
be just thuggish, ruggish as the old ones were with the music selection. And
That's a good look.
in fact, I don't even want them to use today's cars. I want them to specifically make it for like 2000 and below vehicles and stick to old school rap only.
Oh my god, that would be
That would be
insane. I don't care how niche that would be. That would be unreal.
amazing. That
Oh
would
my
be
god.
amazing. So like I'm,
Please play
listening to
Need for
like
Speed Unbound.
bro, I'm listening to like Crucial Conflict and driving down the street
Yeah.
or like
Oh my god.
or Mac 10 or I mean let's take it to the
And
West
Gangstar.
Coast and I mean, bro like I mean
Old
let's take
school
it to the
locks.
yeah, I mean, let's take it to the South, and let me get some Pimp C up in there, some
Oh
UGK.
man.
I got Bobby
Some
by the
old school
pound.
3-6.
Yeah,
Some old school
some
3-6.
3-6, some Trick Daddy, bro.
Mafia.
I'm just saying, Big L from New York, man.
Oh my
I'm
god, dude.
just saying you can make a car game that's strictly in old school or like not new rap and just have the cars based on that. Have a ton of Easy E in the game, cruising down the street in my
Ooh,
six
in
four.
my six
Oh
four.
man, that would be nice.
Bing
Uh,
boom,
so so
boom,
so so
bing
there's
boom.
the old school. So there's so I want a new Midnight Club and
Okay.
and then I'd love them to bring back True Crime Streets of LA.
Oh yeah,
And I
yeah.
want the story and see, I want it to be a bigger, better, and badder remake. So what I mean by that is I want it to be able to do everything that the original one was, but I want it
Mhm.
to be, put into a newer like a world that is like more relevant to today
Yeah, that would be tight.
and I want the not Mortal Kombat, the martial arts that was in the game to be more tight and them
More refined, yeah.
and there to
Yeah.
be a little bit more depth to the story, because that would be nice. Like, because remember in True Crime Streets of LA, you were your father's son. I mean, you were like you were working as a cop, but you were like the predecessor, or no, not
Mhm.
the predecessor, but you were like the future.
The yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were like
Damn,
Dad
that makes me want a
2.0,
new
and
LA Noir.
you were supposed to be like a badass, just like your dad, and that's what everybody's expecting from you. I'd love to see that replayed out, with like a story from. I mean, if it's acquired by Xbox, then I'd like to see like a story from like
Ooh,
who
nude
do
road
I want to
rash.
yeah who do I want to ask
Wait,
who do I
I
want
thought
to
there was
ask
a
to
new
do
road
this
rash
from
coming.
Xbox? Who would I want to ask from Xbox to make a game like that? Well, I mean, it is an Activision game, so I mean, I guess that sure, but then who from
Yeah.
Activision would I want to make it?
See that I can't answer off the top of my head. I'd just be bullshitting you because I don't even know. But I mean, if Turn 10 could pump out a Midnight Club dub edition some way somehow.
I mean, you were real close to what I was thinking. I'm thinking like Playground. if they can land, if they can stick to
Well, yeah,
the
turn 10
landing,
playground, yeah.
if they can stick the landing with Fable, I want to see something like that, like a Midnight Club. Like, obviously, it's like I said, it's an Activision game, but if it could be like Activision Playground Love Child, that'd be fantastic. A true crime love child.
Oh, no, I'll be honest with you. If you could have the level that Call of Duty, that Activision has with their campaigns for Call of Duty, mixed with a story-driven Forza Horizon type of Midnight Club dub edition, oh yeah, I'd be all for that. I'd be all for that. Because to me, one of the things that I love about Call of Duty campaigns is they're really fucking beautiful. They're gorgeous.
Right.
You know
No,
what I
they
mean?
are.
In my opinion. And they're very well done, and just the way they're able to get their characters to look within the fidelity and everything is just, I don't know, it's just insane. Like I have to go back to it, but I was playing Infinite Warfare, and even like I'm blown away by how that campaign looks. You know what I'm saying? So if you could give me that type of level of quality in a campaign, in my opinion, and mix that with like a Forza Horizon, but birth a Midnight Club, a new Midnight Club, that would be fire. Yeah, that would be fire.
That would be insane. It really would.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the
And then
what's the
Parappa the
second
Rapper,
game?
yeah.
Oh yeah, you said Parappa the Rapper and also Fight for New York.
Yeah, yeah. New Def Jam fight would be great. Like fight for Los Angeles or Chicago. I don't know.
Oh man, if they did a Fight for Chicago, that would be a problem. That might be a real problem in Chicago. Like,
oh god,
like I don't know, man. We might have to move this to I don't know, Fight for Dallas or something because these fools over here are crazy. But anyways,
I don't know if you heard me, but when you were talking about true crime streets of LA, I was saying that makes me want another LA Noire.
Ooh, LA Noire was tight. I think that was the game where you followed
a dead franchise, but you know.
No, LA Noire was something else. I'm thinking of The Getaway.
Mm-hmm. LA Noire was the classic version of what Grand Theft Auto is.
Yeah, but it was like, but it was like
much more
questioning and stuff like that to people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember.
Press X to doubt. Wait, is that from LA Noire? I don't remember. I know that's just a meme, but I forget a lot. No, I would like another one of those. I had another game on my mind, and I thought you would have liked it, but it completely left me. Oh, damn it. Jesus. What's another good one? You know what I would like to see make a really good return, but it's not a dead franchise, but I just feel like nobody was really feeling the last installment the way that they were hoping. I need a newer Marvel versus Capcom, and it needs to be done right. In like this time. It needs to feel like Marvel versus Capcom 2 for me. Personally.
I mean, it'd be crazy if damn, because then it'd be exclusive.
They bring back Time Crisis 4. No, I'm kidding.
I was gonna say it'd be cool if they put like Miles Morales and shit, but then it'd be exclusive to PlayStation. So they ain't gonna do that. God. But anyways,
I don't know the way PlayStation operating now. I don't know how much longer they can hold on to that type of stuff. To be honest with you, because if Sony was able to figure out a partnership with Marvel, and Sony realizes that whatever PlayStation is doing is not working, somebody's gonna go around Jim Ryan and fix it to make it work.
I mean, the MLB did that. But anyways,
yeah, exactly.
They did that. I'm sure PlayStation said, "Hey, you guys signed this contract. This is only on PlayStation for a long time."
Oh, Fallout 4 was press X to doubt. Okay, wait, really?
There you go.
I don't even know. I just remember I just saw it as a meme, and Griffin Gaming would use it in his videos, but I wasn't. You have to remember being in and out of the States or the country because of teaching and everything. I didn't get to see a lot of things or experience a lot of things when other people did. So to be honest with you, a lot of the games I'm playing right now, I'm like playing them for the first time because I never got to before, either because I wasn't here or I never had the means. to be able to play them. So it's actually I'm kind of reliving part of my teenage years and my young adult years. It's been nice.
I think
actually.
I think a lot of gamers do that though. Like for me, I missed out on the PS3 and the PS4 generation because I was
Yeah,
only an Xbox guy. I was only an Xbox guy back in the day. So I went back and I bought me a PS3, and I don't need a PS4. I can just put. I have a disc PS5, so I mean that's my PS4. But yeah, for the PS3, man, I missed some legendary IPs. I'm
Same.
telling you.
Same.
I
have not played the
love
first Last of Us. I have not played the first Last of Us.
Oh well, you
I would
can
like
do that
to
on
because
PC now. Shit, but
I know. But that's just another example. Like, by the way, I already know this. I already know the story for Last of Us 2, and I don't agree with that one part. So therefore, I don't need or nor want to play that game.
Mhm.
I know it's a great game and it's beautiful and all of that stuff, despite whoever agrees or disagrees with what that one decision in the story with Joel. But it turned me off, so I have no interest in playing the second game. But the first game I really do want to play, and then I'll headcanon my own story for the second game.
What's his name? Pyro said L.A. Noire was the origin of Press
Okay.
X
So I was right.
to Dow. Fallout 4 was more for sarcastic response. So,
See, I was right. I thought it was.
So there you go. There you go. You weren't crazy. On to the next one, which is actually one of the last two questions. What is a dream come true in gaming? And I want you to be very specific. Or actually, I asked that the wrong way around. What frustrates you in gaming the most? That's the question I'm supposed to ask first.
Console fanboys that have no idea what they're talking about and just speak out of their ass without anything to support what they're actually saying. To me, I constantly ask myself, nobody can be this dumb.
Well, you can't keep. I mean, you're gonna drive yourself crazy asking yourself or saying that to yourself repeatedly, because people will prove you wrong.
I don't. Right? Ooh, yes, they will. That's the one thing I hate about gaming. My thing is, if you got something to say, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Even if I disagree with it, make it make sense to where at least I can have a conversation with you about it. If I'm trying to read what you're saying and every other word is a typo, what are we doing here? I can't.
Man,
it's
man,
just that.
if you see me reading those Starfield reviews the other day, God.
Did you do your second one?
Damn. Yeah, I did my second one. What was it?
I missed it.
It was 2 nights ago. I did my second one, and man, I
know. I was trying to watch it, and I
couldn't do it anymore. I ended up booting up Starfield and just streaming the game. And I was like, man, I did this for about an hour. I'm done with it. I couldn't just because everybody was just
first video you did was freaking hilarious.
It was like copy and paste responses. I just got tired of just reading the same thing because nobody was actually given any context or anything to what they're saying. They were all just saying the same thing. Graphics are old. A lot of load screens. Like it was just, I wasn't feeling it. Like the second day, I was just like, I don't even know why I thought I could do this 2 days in a row. This is ridiculous. But
honestly, I thought it was comedy. Like, and because one,
it was terrible.
The comments you could tell which comments were just complete BS, and two, all the comments together were just so absurd. And the fact that you had people commenting about PC issues and this was supposed to be a console forum, I was like, what are you doing here? Why are you here? Nobody invited you. This is the wrong clubhouse to show up to right now, okay? Excuse me, sir, you're at the wrong Boys and Girls Club? Okay? The one you're going to is in the next city over. Thank you. Like, this wasn't it. Real quick, C Money said, bro, Last of Us 2 was amazing. I understand that, but you also think that The Flash is the best superhero movie ever made. So we'll agree to disagree, bro. No, I'm kidding. I just wanted to teach you. They were having a great discussion with King the other day, and it was freaking hilarious on their show. Shout out to C Money and Doodle. So that's the only reason why I'm mentioning that. That was a hilarious segment when it came to talking about the Flash. Oh god, I was dying watching that. Yeah. So I just wanted to say that. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're fine. And then the last question that we got is what would be a dream come true in gaming. And I want you to be specific. I want it to be like a nice, tight answer, specific, but also selfish. I want you to be completely selfish. Like, what do you want?
Oh, a dream come true that I would like to have happen. Okay.
In gaming, whether it's with you personally, a studio, whatever, it doesn't matter. A community, however you want to flip it. What do you want?
I want to be a game tester. I would love to be a game tester. I would love to be the person that gets to try the games out under NDA and find all the bugs and issues and help make it better. I would love to be a part of the vision and creative process. I actually applied at a few gaming studios before because I actually have a friend who works for EA and he lives out in Spain. And so he gave me some references for some studios that are out here near me. And I had sent some applications before, nothing came of it, but that would be a dream come true. I would like to be a game tester at the least, you know, and then I can take back my name of JP from Grandma's Boy. If you've ever seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I love that movie, but like, did they have to make the Weasel character? Did they have to name him my name? It's horrible. So but no, I would love to get into game testing and just see where that could take me. I would love to work with Xbox. A dream come true in gaming, it would actually correspond with Xbox and dance, and that's to be able to work with Xbox on some marketing campaigns, but using me as a dancer, like marketing a new Xbox or a new game or something and doing a quick little promo commercial or whatever, and I'm dancing to a beat that's relevant to the commercial. You know, it can't just be something stupid that doesn't go, you know, but I always thought that would be pretty cool, being able to merge both worlds through Xbox.
You should holler at Sega.
You know, Sega.
And get them to make another what's that game called? Jet Grind or Jet Set Radio, so you can do some dancing.
Hell yeah, bro! Have you played Bomb Rush Cyberpunk yet? Because isn't that supposed to be the spiritual sequel? Or a successor. I want to play that too because that looked a lot of fun, and I like the art style of it. If anybody's played Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, let me know. I want to try that game out.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, brother, it has been an absolute pleasure. We've been here for almost 3 of them things.
3 hours.
Almost 3 hours, man. It's been a wonderful podcast, bro. But as I told you earlier, I wanted you to shout your stuff out at the beginning. Well, now we're here at the end, and I want you to do it again. So please let everybody know where they can find you.
Whether it's YouTube, Xbox, Twitter, Threads, Instagram, you can find me at the same name, at the Dusty Uno, spelled exactly how it sounds, at the Dusty Uno. Feel free to shoot me a message, hit me up, add me. If I don't recognize your name when you add me and I deny your ad, it's because I don't think I know who you are. So if you have a gamer tag like on Xbox or any other platform that doesn't exactly match your name on YouTube or Twitter, please send me a message letting me know who you are, that we've talked before in chat, and I'll add you back, because I do get ads, and if I don't recognize the name, Ham Solo just added me, I'll probably deny that. No, I'm kidding.
There you go.
If I don't recognize the name, I will not add you, just because I've had weird people add me in the past before. But if I recognize your name, even if I don't even know who you are, but we've interacted, I will add you back. I try to do my best on that. So, yep, those are all the platforms at the Dusty Uno.
Well, man, again, it's been a fantastic episode. Thank you, Dusty, for keeping it real, saying everything that you had to say here. Really,
thank you for having me.
Just keeping it 10 toes down all the way, man. It was really nice having you. Chat, everybody here still, or all the people that are coming to watch maybe after the fact that we had the show. I appreciate all of you guys kicking it, whether you're just chilling, watching your TV on your phone, or however you're having the show run. Just know that I truly appreciate it, and I thank you guys so much. I don't just do this for y'all; I do it for myself as well. I'm happy to be able to do some sort of good within the game community. Although maybe not everybody sees it that way, but I mean, I'm just trying to do the best that I can. For myself, for my own sanity, for my family, for my people, for my folks back in my hometown and stuff like that. It was really surprising seeing some of the people get pretty excited when I told them that I do this type of stuff. They went and subscribed because I'm one of those cats that don't really like to tell anybody when I do podcasting and stuff. And I know it's weird, right? Because you're supposed to be shouting from the rooftops, I'm live. Like I don't do that shit though. Like I legitimately like go to my Twitter because I know that's where everybody that plays games that know me are at. I put it out there and I just say whatever on YouTube and do whatever on YouTube. I need to get better at that. I will get better at that. But as of right now,
you deserve to tell everybody where you are, bro.
Oh,
you deserve
man.
to tell everybody where you are. In my opinion, you are doing a great job at this, and I'm excited for your future. And I mean that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dusty. I appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody with the kind words and everything like that in the chat. As you guys know, we'll be doing our show tomorrow. Bullsitting, me, Loke, Cozy, Beluga,
I love bullsitting.
Matt likes games.
Bullsitting.
Yeah, and we
love that
we
show.
got a very special guest tomorrow. Just make sure you guys pop up and check it out. It'll be a damn good time. 4:00
Hell yeah.
Eastern. I believe that's like 1:00. What, your time?
Yeah, that should be. I should be on lunch at that time, so I'll be in there. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Y'all come check it out.
Yeah.
Y'all come check it out. But it was a blessed episode today with Mr. Dusty. And this is your boy Ham Solo from TSWS signing off to let you know to keep it gaming or keep it moving. Peace out, y'all.